Alrighty, so I decided since I am playing some Arena, trying to grind out some wild cards and basically shock lands, dual lands, things like that, so I can start actually brewing on MTG Arena rather than an MTGO. I don't want to be paying money into a dying platform, in my opinion. So, doing some drafts. You're going to finish off these drafts. I almost have the Arclight Phoenix deck done. This draft deck is super good. I don't know. I think that the way that Arena handles the draft algorithm, or how they have the computers draft, is kind of a learning-based system. And so there will be different flavors as time progresses. Like, I noticed that a couple days ago it was really pushing me into Selesnya every time I drafted. Selesnya. Now it seems to be pushing into Izzet, which is a guild I don't really like to draft that often because a lot of times it feels underwhelming compared to the other guilds. It seems like the computer is now picking Boros quite highly and Dimir quite highly. And again, that's good news for Izzet, because you get a lot of the Izzet cards to work with. So this deck ended up drafting. I'm 2-0 right now in the draft. And you can see, I wish I would have done the draft process again. I apologize. We're just going to try to grind out some cards to get the Arclight Phoenix deck. I'm glad I did this draft because I did pick up a Steam Vents. And now I'm very, very close to actually finishing off Steam Vents for the deck, for the Arclight Phoenix deck. So anyway, this is basically the deck that I came up with from draft. I'm not using a lot of good cards here. Like a lot of times the Locksmiths and Torch Couriers, even the Fearless Halberdier are decent little picks in an Izzet Blitz deck. Some nice little sideboard choices like Hellkite Whelp and Command the Storm. See, I like playing draft as you answer me rather than I answer you type of strategy. So I kind of do that with every of the guilds except for Dimir. Dimir I definitely like to go control with. But I think the Command the Storm is just kind of awkward in a Blitz deck. So what we got with it right now is you want Dazzling Lights because it's a combat trick. Surveil 2, this is just pure value. Surveil is very powerful even in a deck with double maximize, the altitude and the velocity. The Integrity, we're not even splashing for it, just +2/+2. It's another combat trick. 2 Radical Ideas, Unexplained Disappearance. The Vidalcan Mesmerist, this is the deck that Vidalcan Mesmerist wants to be in, is it Blitz deck. Got us a Field, a Fire Urchin, a Runaway Steam-Kin, a Sure Strike. Unfortunately, we only got 1 Sure Strike, but the 2 Beam Splitter Mages, 1 Electromancer, 1 Risk Factor, 1 Smelt Ward Minotaur, 1 Sonic Assault, which is, it's okay, but I mean, it's good to help with the mana flood. A Murmuring Mystic, an Arclight Phoenix, a Wave, and then the rest of it is just going to be in the land. So it's quite funny. This deck is actually a lot similar to my constructed deck as far as cards that are in the Phoenix deck. So right now I'm running in my Arclight Phoenix deck. There's 4 copies of Arclight Phoenix, 4 copies of the Runaway Steam-Kin, 4 copies of the Goblin Electromancer. Used to have Risk Factor. I've ended up cutting that. And even copies of the Maximize Velocity. So this is going to run very similar to the Phoenix deck. And again, we'll get going on the Phoenix deck as soon as these drafts are finished. All right, so that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and play. Like I said, I'm 2-0 with this list. We beat Boros. Boros tried to race us. Bad Boros. You can't race us. And then I beat an Izzet deck that just didn't really do anything. So this is best 2 out of 3, so this might take a little while to get going. Again, if we get more people in here, I'm trying to wait for people to come in, and then we can go over to the Arclight Phoenix deck as well. I'll have a complete deck list over for the Arclight Phoenix later on. It's going to be very similar to the Walking Ballista deck. If you haven't checked the Walking Ballista deck, or the number 10 Walking Ballista video, highly suggest going back in a few weeks ago on Rogue Deck Builder. It's a video that I spent a lot of time editing, and I was it's one of my favorite videos I've ever done, and unfortunately the YouTube algorithm just kicked me in the balls and did not push the video. It just throttled it back really hard. So anyway, we're going to do a lot of videos in that style. And so, I mean, this is good also to get some gameplay footage for those type of videos. That was a great draw to get the Runaway Steam-Kin. We're going to go ahead and throw it out. And this card I'm super impressed with, to the point that I think I even want to try it in Modern. I'm thinking about Hardened Scales, Runaway Steam-Kin deck, where it just gets, I don't know, it's kind of weird though because it maxes out the 3 counters, but you can add some insane mana by just removing counters. Doesn't elementals there's an elemental card that does put counters on, but it wants to work with creatures. All right, anyway, enough of that. I think what we're going to do here is, I don't want to offer the trade for Runaway Steam-Kin. We could maximize the altitude and get in, and then might be able to double maximize out. No, we can just hard cast the Phoenix next turn. So I don't know against Boros if I need to play more of the... Yeah, we're going to play defensive. I don't know, I probably should attack with the Runaway Steam-Kin. I doubt the Fresh Face Recruit actually attacks. We'll just allow this to happen. And probably just Radical Idea at the end of turn here. A Charger. Alright, yep, Radical Idea it is. And we have a Mesmerist. So, ooh, Beetle Mage is also very interesting. I could go, instead of going the Arclight Phoenix here, I still think the right play is to Phoenix and attack in. And just go for the race. Or, no, because it has haste, so I think we're actually going to get the Mesmerist and the Beetle Mage out. Puts it up to a 2/2. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where... Because we can actually discard the Phoenix and then cast 3 spells in a turn. And that might be better. So, let's go the Mesmerist. And the Beetle Mage. Probably should have gone Beetle Mage attacked with the Steam-Kin. Yeah, that would have been better. And then my opponent probably wouldn't have blocked. So, yeah, that would have been a better play. So I'm going to get hit for at least 3 this turn. But, I mean, we have the Mage next turn with, like, a Sure Strike double altitude. That seems pretty good. Get back Arclight Phoenix. And you'll see the power of Phoenix even in this draft deck. And then, in Standard, it's just nutty. Alright, that's a blocker. My opponent missed a land drop, though. Maximize Velocity. I still think the Sure Strike is better. And we want to do it pre-combat. I mean, I can just cast all of these, but I think I'd like to discard. So let's, first of all, maximize Attitude instead of Altitude. We'll get the Attitude going. On the Runaway Steam, or on the Beetle Mage, which copies it for the Runaway Steam-Kin. And then we are going to cast it back from the graveyard. Same thing on the Beetle Mage. And discarding the Arclight Phoenix. And then throwing it on the Mesmerist. And then we will cast a Sure Strike on the Beetle Mage. Putting on the Steam-Kin. It can do 2 damage, so I don't want to put on the Mesmerist. So we'll put on the Steam-Kin. And then get back the Arclight Phoenix. Swing in. Dumb down. That is a huge attack phase. That's lethal. That is one insane draft. Oh, wow. It's almost like putting a beetle. Why do I call this Beetle Mage? Beam Splitter Mage. It's not a Beetle Mage. The Beam Splitter Mage, almost there for constructed playability. With cards like the Maximize Altitude and Velocity. That was a quick kill. Was that turn 4? No, it's turn 5, I believe, that ended up happening. Because we didn't have a land drop that turn. So, I'm going against Boros. Boros, I could put in things like Thoughtbound Phantasm just to slow him down, or the Passwell Adept. I did see actually targets for the Hellkite Whelp, so I think they come in between the Cosmotronic Wave and the Hellkite Whelp. I'm going to take something like Sonic Assault. I don't want to be playing that route versus Boros, so I'm going to take the Assault out. And then usually what I like to do is just take out things that aren't very... I mean, this deck's just too solid not to really take anything out here. I think the Whelp, maybe just the Whelp is a one of. I don't want to go down a land. The Smeltward Minotaur, I'm not sure. It usually does want to be in a deck like this, though. So I still want the Fire Urchin because it plays the good 1/3 block, 0/4 block. Oh, Mesmerists are actually pretty good to take out versus the Boros match. That's true. because I think my opponent's going to try to race, and so we can take the Mesmerist out, and then I can bring in something like the Passwell Adept to just play even more of this kind of defensive route. Like the problem with draft right now is Boros, the Mentor ability is just a little bit too strong, I think, comparatively to the rest of the guilds. Mentor just scales so well, and typically against aggro decks you can clog the board up, like both Celestia and Dimir should, in theory, be able to clog the board up. And, oh, whoops, we ran out of time there while I was talking, so I guess I didn't do anything there. I didn't make any changes. But anyway, maybe it kept me with 41 cards. But anyway, it's not a good route to take. Nah, it didn't change us. It's not that big of a deal, though. I think this deck's solid either way. But it's not a good route to try to clog versus Boros because their cards just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then they start to outclass your defensive cards. So this is very keepable, though. We have Risk Factor, we have Mesmerist. So we'll play a Guildgate, pass a turn, and then we'll do a Field next turn. A very good card versus the Boros for sure. Throw out the Field. How is chat, by the way? I know there's about 20 of us in here. If you stick around, you will see the Arclight Phoenix deck. The first try at it. It's definitely something that I'm going to be working on for a long period of time. I think I found my jam with the Phoenix. It's definitely a Kevin card, and there's a lot of tuning that needs to be done with it. And I've been tinkering around with the list, but it's a great card. A little bit of a finance tip if you haven't got into the Arclight Phoenix. I think it's very underrated right now at about the $2.50 mark to $3 mark. In fact, Card Kingdom has increased their buy list to $2.70. That must mean there's a lot of movement. Ooh, that is tempting just to throw out a Cosmotronic Wave right now, get rid of the Blade Instructor. But we saw a lot of other 1-toughness creatures. So I'm thinking we can just fire off a Risk Factor right now and put another tap land. Or we can just attack first. See if we can like bait out a Righteous Blow. Or just the Blade Instructor might just want to make a trade. I doubt it though. That'd be a bad trade. So yeah, it's just going to be the Guildgate. And then we can Risk Factor here. And my opponent probably will take the damage. But this is, see, the Electrostatic Field / Gutter Snipe is another deck that I'm kind of working on. The standard seems to be in a really good place right now. If you go check out the meta on Goldfish, it is very diverse, but it also seems that like Boros good stuff is right now at the top of the list. And I've already identified there's huge holes in the way they've built that. And so I think that we're going to have a very similar meta that we had, or a meta game that we had during Innistrad and Return to Ravnica, that was just week after week after week, the top dog changed, and then people would adjust to then beat the top dog. All right, so same thing this turn. I think I'm just going to attack in first. We can, whoops, probably should have not played a land in case we want to get some value off of some of these jumpstart cards. Opponent's just going to take the damage again. So I think Risk Factor again is fine. Opponent's going to take the damage there. They can't take a lot more damage due to this. That's 4. They'll go down to 6. They're going to allow me to draw cards now, which is kind of a... not where I wanted to be, but... I'd actually would prefer the damage at this point with the Field. Opponent hasn't really done anything, though. It seems like we're just going to take this game over just by casting spells with the Electrostatic Field. Like, the best case scenario my opponent could do is, like, the Locks on it gains 4 life this turn. So, welcome in the new jump of people. We got 35 people watching. We're playing some Boros draft here with this Insanity deck. Like I said, it's the way that I'm pretty sure the way that Arena AI is a learned-based AI that tries to... I think it looks at what people are picking most popularly and then tries to pick those cards. And so, like a couple days ago, it was pushing me into Celestia, like I said, and now it's definitely pushing me into Izzet. So, Boros gets picked up pretty highly, and so does Dimir. And so usually Celestia and Izzet have been pretty open for me. That's been my experience. I mean, what's all your experience in chat? So the Boom Boom, do I have any idea why CK raised their buy list? Yeah, I do. They're selling it. They are, usually that's what happens when they get less than a certain amount of copies. Like, they have 7 in stock, which means that they have 7 in stock. Usually if they have more than, they have a lot, they'll say 8 in stock. So they literally only have a few left in stock. And so then they I don't know if they have an algorithm that just like then increases the buy list. I bet they have an economics person, but they've probably identified like me that it's a good card. So I think this is a pretty easy pick here of what we're going to do. We're just going to Cosmotronic Wave and then Sure Strike, and that should be lethal, right? Right? Or we could Phoenix here. Does 1 damage, kills. I think it's better. This will at least get rid of everything my opponent. Down to 9. Yeah, not quite lethal. Down to 7. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's it. It got rid of 2 of my opponent's cards. And then we'll end the turn. Probably should have just Sure Strike there, but maybe I misplayed that. Yeah, well, Boom Boom, Card Kingdom usually is more of a commander-based seller, because they have partnerships with like EDH Rec, and they have partnerships with a lot of the commander... gaining 4 life. That's boring. But anyway, they still do check out Standard. They still sell us on a Standard card. Standard's hot right now. I think actually Standard's going to be pretty hot with the casual players. All right, so let's block with... Do they have a short... Or do they have... I think I'm just going to go through. I'm not going to chance a Righteous Blow. So there's a Fire Urchin. So we can go like... We can go Murmuring Mystic. Yeah, that's fine. I'd rather play it out than the Phoenix. It's probably going to take us another turn. This way, if my opponent wants to kill it, they have to block with the Vigilance. That's why I want to dumb that one down. I'll let that happen. I'll put out an Urchin this turn. And I think I'm going to keep the Mountain for a jump start. Let's see, we have 4 mana. No, we'll play it, because then we can cast everything next turn. Do I think it's playable besides Standard? Yeah, Boom Boom, that's the thing. It gets better and better and better as time goes on in Modern. Yeah, and we did lose Gataxian Pro, but there's still Metamorphose. Metamorphose still exists in Modern. So there could be like a spell-based deck that... It also is pretty good with the new Maximize... No, not Maximize. What's the... Yeah, the new Snapcaster. The wannabe Snapcaster. It's pretty decent with it. As that casts a spell and then casts another spell to get it back. I had it in my version and then cut it. It just wasn't quite there. Let's go ahead. Don't need to maximize. That's a sorcery, though. So maximize velocity on the Fire Urchin just so it can get damage through. And we'll go ahead and go to combat. Attack here and here. And depending if my opponent blocks with the Urchin. Does this have trampled, right? Haste trample, yeah. We can Sure Strike. Do you think... Okay, so I'll read your comment 1 second. Let's just win the game here. So, do I think there's enough Standard to make a good mono deck viable? Mono green Stompy in Silverchair? Yeah. There's definitely plenty for mono red, mono white, mono green, mono black, mono blue. They're all very, very viable. In fact, there's versions of decks that have already... done 5-0 finishes on Goldfish, so or on MTGO. So if they can 5-0 finish on MTGO, they can easily, you know, be in Silver Tier on Arena. Yeah, so Mono Blue is a really, really easy budget deck. You can build it with I believe only 4 rares with the Tempest Djinn, and then everything else is uncommons, because you don't have to use the... So you have a 1/1 flyer for 1 mana, the Siren that's an uncommon, and then you have a Merfolk that's a 1/1 unblockable that's a common, and then they're using the Sprite that's an uncommon, the 1/2 Surveil Sprite that's an uncommon, and yeah, I believe everything else is just after that point. You have the Curious what +1/+1 to a creature when it deals combat damage. That's a very, very easy budget deck to build if you're looking to grind it out. It does pretty well at the moment. Unfortunately, this is probably also going to be another mulligan. We don't have any draw. I mean, we could be risky and keep this. We have a scry and a draw. And then we do have, like, one, like, yeah, I'm going to keep it. We have Dazzling. Okay, now it's actually really good. But, yeah, so, and then Mono Black works. Mono Black works really well. I actually have a brew that I am actually going to build with Lotleth Giant, believe it or not. Mono Black. I don't know, no, that's not my Mono Black deck. What is my Mono Black deck that I was going to build? Now I forget. But, definitely want to build a Lotleth Giant deck. That's another card I want to brew around. Alright, so we're going to have to shock ourselves. We'll pay some 2 life and throw in the field. And now we're pretty good to go, because now we have some decent plays to kind of grind out our opponent. The Pass Wall Adept. Alright, now we're really good to go. And we have some altitude in the foreseeable future here. I think I'll just risk factor. I don't know if there's any point to blowing these early or waiting. I mean, it could get countered here, but we at least allows us to get in for 2 damage plus the cost of the spell. It's better than running something else, in my opinion. So I think my opponent is definitely thinking about countering it. Well, Mono White has Venerated Loxodon and a ton of good 1-drops that also work with Benelish Marshal, and you still have Pride of Conquerors. Like, Mono White is very, very strong. Ooh, just gonna Whisper Agent. It's a decent little trade, though, a 3/2 for a 2/3. Did its job. Healer's Hawk into Giant's Primate 2 is another route you can go. So here's the thing. Do I want to actually cast this or play a land here? I think I'm just going to risk factor again. Keep grinding down my opponent. They're missing their black source at the moment. What did they do? They surveil it all? A 4. Oh, wow. This is going to be a Sultai deck. If I had to guess where Assassin's Trophy Foil settles, with the regular one or the promo? The promo one's really far down already, because these promos really remind me of like Khans of Tarkir Forward, when they started doing like specific promos per pack. There were like less options you could get out of the promo pack, so there's more Assassin's Trophy Foils, promo foils out there than there should be if it was just a random foil. We opened up like 4 at our store out of all the pre-release packs that I even know about, 4 or 5. All right, so we have a radical idea that we'll just cast here. And seems pretty okay. Whoops, I kind of used a red there rather than a... So I might be tapped here for no reason. Ah, no, we gotta maximize velocity. If I can I don't want to though. We'll just pass it up. This field probably will end up grinding down the game. Next turn we can go maximize altitude and velocity. It makes it a 2. I can actually get the Phoenix back here. Yep. So let's go maximize velocity. Yeah, so Waka, my version is going to be based upon the version that 4.0, but I don't like the way that it's built. I'll show you the way that I've built my Phoenix deck, and yes, it still is in the very, very alpha stages, but that's how a lot of my decks start. They start with, like, bad versions, and then I begin to tune them out and figure out what I need. Let's go ahead and maximize velocity again. Discarding the Arclight Phoenix. And again, I'll try to get through this draft as quickly as possible so we can get to the Phoenix deck. Like, one of the things that I put in the Phoenix deck is settle or search for Azcanta. Even though it's not a spell, it is pretty much insane in a deck that is using a lot of spells and filling up the graveyard. It becomes ramp, and in a lot of ways it becomes even better than Goblin Electromancer, because then it can start digging you later on. That's what I like about the Phoenix deck. Like, it has game versus any of the archetypes that are out right now. Like, if I want to really, like, if aggro becomes a huge thing, I can definitely slow down aggro. Well then, this is a defender, I just realized that. Now I have to grind out my opponent a different way. I just have to cast 6 spells. So there's just a lot of options with. All right, let's radical idea here. And I'm just going to ditch a land again. Just slowly grind out my opponent. And pass the turn. For another agent, huh? Another Surveil. So we're going against Dimir Surveil, which might, or this is Sultai, which might be tough for us. No, we're pretty blitzy. Yeah. So we're gonna go the Electromancer. And pass the turn. Should mean my opponent has to leave back the Sphinx. That hurt getting our Arclight captured. My opponent did not leave back the Sphinx. Huh, they know I've got the altitude. So they're baiting out something. Well, we'll cast it. I've played against a 1,000-year. You're talking about Conley Wood's 1,000-year storm. I've played against some bad 1,000-year storms, but that's what Conley Wood made an awesome version that runs treasures, and it looks pretty good. But it seems like it has a lot of ifs, like being able to make sure you get the 1,000-year storm. Seems pretty rough. So Dream Eater comes down here, huh? Can you get back the Electromancer? I could actually lose this game. So opponent's deciding what to throw back. Oh, no, trying to decide what to surveil. So Electromancer goes back. We're kind of in the same. Yeah, I could actually definitely lose this. I need 4 spells. I'm taking 9 this turn. The Pass Wall Adept can actually... No, I'm dead here. Pass Wall Adept just makes it unblockable. Yep. And that's perfectly lethal. Womp womp. That worked out pretty well with the citywide, the Sphinx and the capture. Man, I didn't think there was a way my opponent could come back from there, but didn't quite get there. All right, so the sideboard, I don't know if I need to go Devious Cover Up just to counter some of those bigger spells. I don't think so. I think we can blitz them. In fact, I didn't see a lot of, besides the 1/3, like the Fearless House. No, there was 2 of the 3/2s though, that are 3 of them. I saw 3 of the being able to flash them in. So I don't think that I need to really switch anything up. Command the Storm might just have to come in because those flyers definitely are threats. But that really slows our deck down. If that's the case, it'd be something like the Mesmerist out. I think I'm okay with that. But yeah, the 1,000-Year Storm does look like a pretty sweet little build. It's not on my top 10 list. It didn't make it that I'm in a brew around. I've got a lot of other cards that I think are more fun. But anyway, we'll go ahead and keep this. It's got the field, which that definitely did give my opponent problems last time around. And we do have the 2 mana. We do want to hit a 5th mana for the Command the Storm, so I can't go crazy on the land drops like I did before. Which one do I yeah, field is still fine. No, actually I think it was that was the Fire Urchin there instead of the field. I was thinking this, I'm still always thinking this is like the Thermal Alchemist where I can tap it. And I stumble like I'm gonna tap it for some damage in a turn. We'll do the Urchin this turn. Yeah, I should have done that the opposite end, and then I'd have a beam splitter mage and an Urchin. We missed the land drop. That's pretty bad. And the Disinformation campaign will get rid of the Arclight Phoenix. That is a tough card to beat though. Let's go the beam splitter mage and then just pass the turn. Well, attacking with the... Alright, so we're good next turn, though. Hopefully my opponent just tries to hold up the agent. But Disinformation Campaign is one of the better cards in the entire draft format. Dead... Oh, that really hurts a dead weight. Especially if he goes Thought Erasure here now, too. And he just got the nuts. Yep, got the nuts. Got the nuts. Gonna take probably Sure Strike. And now we're pretty much locked out. So discard, and we'll have to end up discarding another and discard. So just ripping the hand out. Wow, took the Command the Storm. I really do not agree with that. Now we actually might be okay. Oh, I wanted to hit a land there so I could get back the Phoenix. So I don't think I cast anything because we want to try... Oh, no, I can get the... No, I can't quite get the Phoenix. And I'm sure my opponent's just going to use the... So I should have taken the Cosmotronic Wave out, I'm assuming. Yeah, Disinformation Campaign comes out again. This can get rid of the wave. I don't think I really have a dead drop, though. Next turn. If I hit a land, I can cast everything. Attitude. Oh, okay, there is a dead drop. I think we're going to get our loss here. Put us down to a 12. They can start putting out some big things here now, though. With the... I don't know if I agree with my opponent playing the Disinformation Campaign the way they did. They allowed me to have a draw and just really take over the game there. Murmuring Mystic is rough, especially if there's a 1-drop. No 1-drop. Alright, so here I can cast. Get back the... Yeah, that's good. No, I can't cast because I still need another source. Yeah, that was bad. Next turn, though, I can cast. Yeah, so I have to throw this out. So I can get in for 3. If I do this, I can get in for another. Unfortunately, I have to play this. There's a Dazzling Lights with a Surveil and a 1. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, that was a good hand by my opponent for sure. And these are all sorcery. Down to an 11. sure my opponent will just cast the Disinformation Campaign again, rip out the altitude. Yeah, that card. This is the card I single-handedly lost to the pre-release to. Just a Disinformation Campaign. All the games, it was like an 8-point swing, 8-card swing with the Disinformation Campaign. Feel like I need to wait one turn to do. I can go for the altitudes and try to get in there for as much damage. I can do one this turn, then one the next turn, or I can wait one turn and cast 3 spells in a turn. No, because I'd need another card. So unfortunately, I just think this is the right play, rather than keep getting my hand ripped out by the Disinformation Campaign. But I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna need to draw into like a risk factor, and this needs to go through. I need my opponent not to have a spell, and there's the spell, and it gets back the Disinformation Campaign. Everything surveils, huh? Surveil. Recast it, and pass the turn. See, look how many cards my opponent still has in their hand because of the Disinformation Campaign. Such a nutty card. Getting close to... so my opponent's definitely keeping Dream Eater up. And that's going to be all she wrote. We'll do a radical idea. And the Beam Splitter Mage. And my opponent definitely has, 100% has a Dream Eater in hand. And I couldn't attack into that anyway. Yep, there's the Dream Eater. Should take back the field. And then cast a Disinformation Campaign to get rid of the electrostatic field. The only way I get out of this is by having the field out and casting enough spells. But this is gonna... I mean, losing to bombs for sure. Doesn't feel as bad as losing to other things. Dream Eater's just a blowout. Feels like a Torrential Gearhulk power level in draft. Did I see the split cards? Yeah, I've seen those going around. I haven't personally seen any of the cards that are splitting. None of them did it to us, so... I don't know. You guys want to always get me talking about that subject. You're never, ever, ever going to get me to get on that hype, on that train. There are going to be manufacturer problems with any product. It's going to come out and there's going to be, like, I get it. The foils that go curling immediately are something that needs to be fixed. 100% get it. The thing is, though, like, the people, like, you can't hold a company, a paper company, to a standard that is unfeasible. And I think that we as Magic players, we do that all too often. Do I radical idea here, or just try to hold back for a turn and try to get everything as big as possible? This puts up to a 3. Pretty sure, though, I just get my hand ripped out. Oh, I can go radical. I don't know. I think I just pass it. So yeah, cards split. Cards come with manufacturer defects. That's just the nature of the beast. You know, hate on Wizards for the right reasons. Don't be, you know, nitpicking at things that any company is going to go through. So, again, I didn't see the video, but I know the rhetoric going around with the cards that are splitting. Seems to be a very small, isolated amount of them. It doesn't seem to be like an overwhelming majority. So... all right, I don't think I can come back from this. I'm going to scoop it up. I don't know. That's kind of like bothering me too. Is like everyone just wants to push me back into drama. I try to get out of it, and it seems like that's all that people give a crap about is MTG drama. Like go watch Desolator for Christ's sake. If you want drama, go watch Lion. Like it makes me feel kind of like the big wake up, come to Jesus moment for me is when I got invited to do a stream by Legendary Mana, and the invites were Desolator Magic and Tara, two people that I think have the most ridiculous ideas when it comes to the MTG finance, or just, they just blow steam all day long. They don't really add any constructive communication to what's going on. It's just reeing. And just because it's our side reeing, it's still reeing. And it was a big wake-up call to me. It's like, is this really who I'm associated with? Is this my fans? Do I have like so much overlap of fans with Desolator freaking Magic? Like, what does that say about me? And it was just, I'll probably lose subscribers for saying this because, again, everyone just wants to push me towards drama. Ugh, I just want to play the damn game, enjoy the damn game for once, and try to, and I'll get into the stuff that actually matters, but got to pick our battles. But nothing against your unknown hero. I'm not yelling at you whatsoever. I'm just saying that that's the vast majority of comments I get and stuff is like trying to talk about some sort of community issue or Wizard of the Coast this, Wizard of the Coast that. And anyway. So this will do 2 damage. No, I can just block here, do a damage, and then I can still block it. So it only does 3 damage. Alrighty, so we can go Fire Urchin here and then maximize velocity it, and then attack in, and this can't block. This does have Mentor. I think that's a pretty decent play if Boros does want to race. So 16 and to 20. The bodyguard will attack in, get the goblin mentored. I can still block the bodyguard though. And again, it's going to be a race. This is definitely going to come down to who can dish out the most damage. We have a dazzling right. Okay, the sure strikes can be pretty good too. So my opponent can't even block it. We can disappear. Don't want to just disappear now and then force my opponent to recast the goblin. I think I definitely want to race. So I can't re-mentor. Yeah, I think this is good. We want to race, so I want to main phase a lot of this stuff. And Mesmerist is fine to. I think I'm gonna drop it though. I'd rather have a spell, and we can get rid of this island and velocity again, and discard. Yeah, the island. Hi, Hurricane. We'll get to the Arclight Phoenix in a sec here. Just finishing off this draft. Hopefully it doesn't take forever to get through it. But I'm glad I did the draft so I didn't have to redeem another Steam Vents. So there's that. Putting us down to a 10 with Sure Strike is pretty good. Oh, now I definitely want the bounce spell back, but still I'm okay with that. We can Dazzling Lights if I really have to worry about damage. I think I just take the 8 damage here. And see if we can get there. Risk factor is nice. Yeah, risk factor's great here. Opponent should just allow me to draw cards, is what I assume. If that's the case, I might need to play defensively. And no, my opponent did not play defensively. At 7 damage on the backswing, 1 damage spell kills me. If I attack in with the Fire Urchin, we can get a trade or we can get in for damage. So I think that's worth it. So combat, attack. Fire Urchin. Goes down to 4. I'm going to throw them both away. I'd rather have spells. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. It's going to be risk factor. I guess Mountain's okay. We draw a Mountain, and that allows us to play a Mountain. But I'd rather have Sure Strike, just in case. Yeah, that's fine. So we had the Boar. So this means I can block the Bodyguard. And if my opponent casts a Bodyguard card, they can't block with it, then I can swing back for lethal. Again, unknown. I hope you're not offended by my little rant that I went off there. I assumed way too much with where you're going with the split cards. It's just something that's been really, really, you know, really bothering me lately with. Wow, that sucks. Had to be a Rubble Belt because I can't take the damage, so I have to block. And now I think I just lose. Womp womp. Because we could have taken everything else but a pump spell. The field, you know, forces a block. Go down to a 3. And then I'm really at the mercy of my opponent should just block. Well, they have to give me. So if I get a maximized velocity, we need to maximize velocity off this risk factor. This didn't do anything. I just don't like him. Is that okay? I just think he just blows too much steam. He's never. Hey, look! We found it. We needed to maximize altitude, and the magic gods gave it to us. Boom. Again, that's just, I guess, personal preference. Personal preference. Like, I want people to get their facts straight before they start spouting off stuff. I want people to actually, like, honestly use some introspection for once in their lifetime. And it's just, that's just my personal, again, I know that people are gonna go for the unsubscribe, go for the, I don't, it was just a huge wake-up call when everyone was associating the Atara and Desolator. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, am I that bad of a person that those are the two people that I have so much overlap with? Alright, so we're going against Boros again, so Boros is probably the right thing to take out. The Mesmerist, bring in something. A Drake is actually okay if I know they're running flyers. I didn't see any flyers, so the Adept is fine here. The Whelps are probably better. So usually it's just bring the Whelps in. I don't think we needed anything that needs to get up to the command of the storm. Yeah, that's that. So, yeah, chat, if you want me to, you got me started on drama. Let's go drama, then. Give it to me. We got Perp in the house, too. All Perp is drama. So, Goblin Banneret's going to be an issue. That's one of the better mentor cards. We don't have anything reasonably that looks like it's going to be able to stop it. And don't know what my opponent's doing here. Oh, Perp. Perp. See, Perp dances pretty nimbly with people. I don't know how he does it. If I don't like a person, there's nothing holding me back. And I gave it, you know, I realized that there's a lot of overlap between, you know, fans and things like that. And it's smart for the channel just to, you know, play nicely, but Jesus. One thing after another. One misinformation after another. And I can't take it any longer. You don't need to start crap just to start crap. Like, pick your battles, people. Pick, like the fights that are worth fighting. Alrighty, so, this is a good unexplained disappearance. But I think we're just going to put out the Smelt Warden. rather than the... Yeah, I'd like to get some aggression. Because if we can temple out an opponent that's stuck on white, we might be able to get through this. So... And no, it looks like no bore either. No pump so far. Okay, there's the pump. So we are down to a 7, but we at least have like a decent little board state. Guildgate's fine to put out here because we have... I don't think there's 2 things we'd like to run. We have a risk. We have a radical idea though that we can... No, it's just gonna be attacking with the Minotaur. Probably Guild. And then force my opponent to pump it twice and then bounce it back. So opponent's going to go for the win here. And that's that. So allow the block. Should be a pump here. Okay, so I think we're going to try to force out a pump with the Dazzling Lights. I think this is fine to surveil here. So this is just taking 2. Didn't cast anything last turn. You think they would have cast it this turn. Okay, so we're going to let these revolve. Let this resolve. I think the altitude can go with the graveyard. I like an Electromancer. And now we'll bounce it. So that cost me a card to bait out the mana. Again, I don't know if that's the right line, but now we can just go the Whelp next turn. And then my opponent has to wait a turn to... Oh, no, they can drop a land. Ugh. We can keep that back, though. Yeah, we'll just Whelp. Still no White Source. Chamber Sentry, huh? I've tried to get Chamber Sentry to work. It's just tough. That tap activation is just brutal. All right. Unfortunately, we got a block there. Unfortunately, our opponent hit the White Source, too. So they should at least pump once. That was probably a terrible move unless there's Trample, because now I can just attack him with the Whelp and kill it. No, I can't, because there is another Vigil. So can I get out of this? I can block with the Whelp. So I want to keep this land for sure. I think we can just go the Electromancer. And just do a risk factor. Perp, you're my undesirable. All right, so let's just pass the turn here. So Boros with enchantments. Still a lot of cards in hand. At least we've closed the gap, and our deck definitely is capable of pumping out a lot of damage. We still have a lot of high-impact cards left in the deck. So yeah, you should definitely get your cards in the draft rather than opening packs for Arena, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm glad I did it because I did open up I did open up a Steam Vents and a the 1/1 that gets +1/+1 counters for each red spell you cast. So those are 2 things I don't have to redeem. So we'll Radical Idea here. At the end of... Oh, I guess it's not the end of turn yet. Whoops. Thought we were in the end of turn. There's Runaway Steam-Kin. That's pretty good. Another Whelp. Ooh, that is interesting for sure. That can mentor on top of the Goblin. So I'm gonna have to make a block on this Banneret. And that take 4 and then be at the mercy of a... No, because we can have a Steam-Kin to play back up as well. So we'll Steam-Kin and most likely just risk factor here. Actually... Yeah, risk factor's fine. Because it's 10. We could do 6 damage this turn. But we'll just pass it. Yeah, there's nothing. Nothing I can really do here. I could block and block. Block and block. 2 cards left in hand. What is Boros? Now it looks like my opponent's flooding. Creature, if it first strike vigilance and there's an additional attack phase. Okay, I think that's going to do it. Because it goes Mentor. They get first strike, so they can first strike. If I block everything down... Okay, so I have to block everything on the Banneret. No, everything on the Bodyguard. And then it first strikes down these 2 and then survives the Whelp. No, I just think I die here. First strike down, block. So I have to go here. And here. Not just first strikes it down. Yeah, there's no way I... So we'll just have to leave these 2. And then... I'm going to go for a radical idea, even though it gets rid of a creature. That doesn't help. My opponent should pump before attack. Yeah. And then I'll go to a... a 5. Or down to a 2. 1 card in hand. Beam Splitter's not going to do it. We altitude risk... So we got a radical idea first. Throwing away the island. See if there's anything to get us out of this, but it probably won't. That was close. Alright. And I'll be sure to spam your go to my opponent next turn the entire time. I find these emotes more aggressive than chat. Alright, so just leave it as is. I don't think I need to bring in a 1-3. Opponent got pretty lucky with the 1-1 and the 2 enchantments thrown on top of it. Maybe I should have... No, I still think... Using the bounce spill was probably proper. All right, that's a great hand. Oh, Sonic Assault was a card I probably should have got rid of. I hate the Healer Hawk. Card is so good in draft 2. So let's go the Beam Splitter Mage. Hopefully we can actually find some cards to support it. Opponent's definitely coming out the gate swinging. We need the 1 damage spell is what we need. Murmuring Mystic is really good, so we'll just go another Beam Splitter. And if my opponent wants to make the trade, I'll allow at this point with the Fresh Face Recruit. I think my opponent probably should have, because just the sheer power level of double beam splitters. My opponent is going for the aggro. Alright, well, we do have a Mystic, which is super good. And maybe we can tap down and... So what I want is a candle... So Rubble Belt on the Healer Hawk, huh? Jeez. Opponent's going to hold things back. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, because of Shore Strikes. Could actually win here. So no, I can just, I need to tap something down at end of turn. So tap down the Healer Hawk. I think I'm just going to pass. I'm reading chat. Sorry, Scrump. What's going on, Scrump? Long time, Scrump. How are you? How are you? You're missing my rant when people get me all hot and bothered. Okay, so no block here. We'll just take the 2 damage. Or do I want to kill that? I could actually... Nah, we'll take the damage. And... probably just tap the 3/3. Yeah, probably tap the Healer Hawk. And bounce the 3/3. It really doesn't matter what I have because I'm probably going to use the Sonic Assault. Can I do 17 damage in a turn? So I tap the I tap the Fresh-Faced Recruit. And, oh, wow. I have to do the Sure Strike right now. That's fine. Because I messed up my mana. Yeah, I really messed this up. So we're going to attack. I tapped a mana thinking I tapped for blue again, and then the auto cast messed it up. So we can leave these 2 back. 5, 6, 7, 11, 12. And leave the Murmuring Phantasm back. So the Fresh Face has to block. Oh, it just blocks there, huh? That's fine. Yeah, I miffed that up big time. See, that's what happened when I read chat. Then I forget what I'm doing. So Rubble Belt comes out on the Healer Hawk. Ugh. Does that give it Menace? Oh, the lifelink. So up to a 10 now. And Radical Idea is definitely not where I want to be. Velocity can be cast on the Beam Splitter. To give it +3/+3, that'll... I think that's fine. Gets me another token. Give it to a flyer. And we'll attack him with these 2. The Beam Splitter will probably just trade with the Rubble Belt, or the Rubble Belt Boar. But it's going to be tough to beat that Healer Hawk. Yeah, I should have bounced it that way. Should have just held it up. We do have Radical Idea that will make us some more tokens. Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. Well. Still can't block off the Healer Hawk. It's just, I think I'm going to lose the race just because the Healer Hawk's going to just dish off so much damage. I think that's the only pump I have. Or the only unexplained disappearance that I have. Electromancer's terrible. We'll just radically idea it away. And that is terrible as well. And fortunately, I think I'm passing the turn. The Swift Play Vindicator, the Legion War Boss is going to pump it up. Yikes. Yeah, I miffed this up big time. I deserve this loss for sure. And that'll end our draft. So I can't block the way I want to block. I have to block here and block here for sure. The rest I can go Legion Warboss, here and take 2. I think that's the best way to do it, in all honesty. Kill the Legion Warboss, kill the Sky Knight Legionnaire, take 2, and still have to deal with this Healer's Hawk, which I don't think I'm going to be able to deal with it. Because I knew he had those enchantments too, and I shouldn't have blown that. Oh, that was -4 anyway. Did someone have Trample here? Oh, the Swiftblade Vindicator has Trample. Alright, yep. Love Arena, how it shows pictures. You have to click on the cards. Well, that was a disappointing finish there, but at least we got our money back and the 4 Gills of Ravnica, and we get to go on to the brew. So let's open these packs and hopefully get a Steam Vent so we don't have to redeem one. Well, I don't have a rare to redeem anyway, do I? Womp womp. We're going to have to play without a Steam Vent. Response to Resurgence. That's a good card. And uncommon. And a Light of Legion. Womp, womp, womp. So, oh, we do have rares. That's right. My vault just hit. So, got some rares off of that. All right, so let's go to the deck. So this is what I have working for us for the Arclight Phoenix deck. I made 2 decks. First is the Mono Red Phoenix. This is more of a budget version that I've been trying to work with. Of course, the numbers aren't there. This deck can run an extremely low land count because you're running 8 cantrips with maximum velocity and Warlord's Fury, and then you're going to run the shocks, or excuse me, Crash Through is the other cantrip. So Crash Through and Warlord's Fury. Maximalized velocity is a good way to get rid of excess cards. Shock, I'm going to run 2 lava coils to take care of bigger creatures. 2 of the Electrostatic Field, probably should go up to 4 of. 4 Lightning Strikes, 4 Runaway Steam-Kins, Tormenting Voice, Gutter Snipes, 1 Repeating Barrage, 2 Risk Factors, Arclight Phoenix. So it's just a bunch of cards that I had, and it actually works pretty good. The Arclight Phoenix are much more inconsistent with this deck, but it's still, this is just a mono-red spells, tax your opponent down, and there can be some quick kills. The deck that I'm definitely been working on is this Arclight. So the biggest difference between the Arclight deck that did a 5-0 finish on MTG on mine is really the Discovery to Dispersal. I think that it's a mistake. I tested out Opt, and Opt is surprisingly weak in the deck. Like, it's a cantrip that doesn't do anything but cantrip, scry 1 and draw a card. Is not worth the mana, especially when you're running cards like Goblin Electromancer that then can reduce something. So Discovery is a lot better, and the Dispersal occasionally comes in handy. I have used it already in the few games that I've tested it. So I think that it's worthwhile for Discovery to Dispersal, for the Surveil to draw a card. So it's a good way to get those Arclight Phoenixes into the graveyard off the top of your library. And then if you have to use Dispersal, it's a good way to, throw back a Lyra. Like that scenario already happened. My opponent goes turn 5 Lyra, and so I go Dispersal, then swing in for lethal, because they were, counting on Lyra to be able to block things. So, again, I'm going to go back up to 4 Goblin Electromancers. I'm going to go ahead and redeem this last Steam Vents. So there we do have the full mana base that I like. I still think that mana base probably wants to go a 5-5 split, I would say. This is going to be a low land count as well, so we have 20 lands exactly. This Drowned Catacomb should be a Watery Grave. Do not have another Watery Grave at the moment. I'm running 1 Enigma Drake. Enigma Drake seemed good, but it wasn't where I wanted this deck to be. I do like the 1 of, though, because it is a great target for the maximized velocity. So I think I need to cut 1 card here, and I think that it's something... Tormenting Voice can be good, but I'm thinking Radical Idea is just a better card. And the other cards, I think out of all the cards, it is going to be Tormenting Voice that's the weak link. So just to show everyone the list real quick, Crash Throughs, 2 maximized velocities. This could also be down to a 1 of. You know what? That probably is the right call. It's just good to have a lot of these type of jumpstart cards to throw the Arclight Phoenix into the graveyard when it's stuck in your hand. But the thing about Arclight Phoenix is actually pretty good just to hard cast. So we're going to go down to just one Maximize Velocity, just in case we have this little combo with the Maximize Velocity and the Enigma Drake. So it's there. 4 Warlords Fury 4, so I'm all in on these two cantrips. I think they're just strictly better than Opt, as they are red spells to work with the Runaway Steam-Kin. This is another card that was not in the 5-0 list, and this is insanely good in the deck because it is adding mana while casting spells. So if you have this out and then start throwing the Crash Throughs and the Warlord's Furies, it's actually putting +1s with counters. You can then take away the counters to add mana to just keep going through your deck and finding what you need. So Search for Azcanta is good in a deck like this too, that is just throwing a ton of things in the graveyard. I've had a few like cards like Risk Factor. Right now, the sideboard, I'm still trying to mess with like what's the right number. I think Murmuring Mystics are going to be good versus particular decks. You know, Young Pyromancer is a great card. 2 more mana for standard. Young Pyromancer doesn't seem bad. It also has a 1/5 butt, which is very, very reasonable right now. Beacon Bolt is another card I'm testing out. Gutter Snipe for decks that don't want to interact with me. It's another card that can come in. If they don't have a lot of removal, for example, this card can come in and just win. Fiery Cannonade, I think, is a necessary evil right now. I wish we had something like Hour of Devastation, or ideally what I want is a 4-mana spell. A 4-mana, like, do 4 damage to each creature and just each creature. Ideally 5 would be good to get rid of Lyra, but unfortunately we don't have anything like that at the moment. So Fiery Cannonade could at least get rid of all. There's a lot of Merfolk decks and Vampire decks, so they give those out for free. And so you'll see some of those. So I'm playing 3 Fire Cannonades, and Disdainful Stroke is really in here for Settle the Wreckage. So Settle the Wreckage is a real threat for this deck, and having 4 Disdainful Strokes I think is necessary for that. You could go Negates, but Disdainful Stroke can also hit some problematic cards like Lyra, so you can bring this in versus Lyra decks. 2 Ralzerics for the grindy control decks. So you can bring these in and hopefully, I don't know, these are still testing. And then a River's Rebuke, just in case we're going up against Celestia or any other deck that wants to really flood the board. So that's what I don't know, that's the sideboard is definitely subject to change. This is something we'll be testing. What we're losing to is the big answer to what we put in the sideboard, because there's plenty of options of cards you could put in the sideboard, anywhere from even like the just the disperse type cards. I think they actually work pretty good in a tempo-based deck. I was even thinking of something like Blink of an Eye. That's a pretty good card when it is paired with the Goblin Electromancer. So it has a lot of customization for this deck. Mission Briefing's been in here at 1.2. This is actually a very strong card with Arclight Phoenix, because you can cast Mission Briefing and then cast one of these Warlord's Furies back from the graveyard. And there's 2 of your spells cast for the Arclight Phoenix for basically just, 1 card. And the Surveil 2 can get a Phoenix in the graveyard. All right, so enough of the... Deafening Clarion could be a possibility if we splash for the white, for sure. Hurricane. I don't know if splashing for white is going to be something that is yeah. I don't know. We can definitely test that out. But let's go ahead. Search for Azcanta is the new card. Let's see how well it performs. I think 2 of is the right number. This also is pseudo ramp because we are running a low land count. And so let's go ahead and queue this up in a competitive metagame challenge. What the hell is this? Bring your constructed deck and play a best of 3 matches. What does it give? 5,000 gold in 30 packs, huh? Competitive meta. I don't know if this is good enough for a competitive meta. Yay, nay, should we lose some coins here? I'm not too... The sideboard is something I'm iffy on. And there's a lot of matchups here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do the competitive meta challenge. Let's lose some coins here. See if anyone's even playing this stupid thing. Competitive meta challenge. It must be new today. I didn't even see it this morning. I know there's an update since I was playing. So Hurricane, I said Steam Vents and you opened one, but I didn't get open one, huh? To redeem one. Now watch my next draft is going to have like 4 Steam Vents. That's it. Like my draft, I already had 4 Arclight Phoenixes, and that you just saw my draft had one in it. Is this one loss then you're out? Wow. Wow, that was a waste of coins for sure. All right, so this is actually keepable. A 5-lander. I actually think it's keepable with just a Runaway Steam-Kin and going on the play. So let's see what you got. Competitive meta. Not a Watery Grave. Ooh, a Thoughtbound Phantasm. Okay, we don't care about that card. So the Runaway Steam-Kin is better than the Electromancer, but Electromancer definitely was a great draw. One loss and you're out. Whew. They're going to start posting lists for the competitive meta. Thoughtbound Phantasm. Well, that hurts with the Thought Erasure to rip my hand out. It's typically Thought Erasure isn't that impactful of a card, but we can't hit lands here. That's the worst case scenario, to hit more lands. That's what we like about the radical idea. Holy Hannah Montana here. Well, you can Thought Erasure me now. Do another one for good measure. I don't think the first one was good enough. You should Thought Erasure here. I mean, that's rough about keeping the 5-lander, but now we're down to 13 lands left in a 50-card deck. Thief of Sanity, that's actually going to be pretty rough. Chart of Course is fine here. Let's go ahead and cast a Chart of Course. And we can just rip out a land. Man, that Thief is really going to be tough if they cast. They have to put him in my graveyard, though, for the Phoenixes. Oh, wow. Yeah, Thief of Sanity is not that great versus us, for sure. So we'll just get rid of an island. I think having more red sources is the right play. And then we'll just Electromancer. Puts a counter on the Steam-Kin. And then no attackers. All right, so we have a pretty good outlook next turn. Other than that, Thief of Sanity is the perfect tempo. We're not like a deck that actually does well against Thief of Sanity. Thief of Sanity, I tested this card in a very similar deck to what my opponent's playing right now. It just got shocked and cast down and seal awayed. It was rough. This card for 3 mana, it feels like it needs to be a 2-mana card right now in Constructed because it's not surviving a turn the vast majority of times. Hostage Taker. Hostage Taker. All right, now we're looking pretty bad. And I'm sure my opponent can get an Arclight Phoenix here. Yeah, we need that Electromancer. Oh wow! Did not take an Arclight Phoenix. I wonder if there's 2 of them. Now this is the. I think we can actually start getting the Arclight Phoenixes out. So let's go for a Discovery or a Tormenting Voice first. What is more powerful? No, okay. So I need to draw another 1-mana spell. So I think that this goes through 2 cards. This goes through more than 2 cards. So I actually think Discovery is better. And we hit the Crash Through. So Crash Through wants to be in our hand. Radical Idea can go away. Right? Yeah. That'll get back a Phoenix. Because we can play, and we can Tormenting Voice on an island. Yeah. Don't want another, not that many Runaway Steam-Kins. So, Crash Through. And go to combat. Gets our Phoenix back. And I believe we attack in because, well, the Hostage Taker, yeah. Wow, this is a... No, it's attacking with everything. And then I do believe we run out another Steam-Kin. So unfortunately, my opponent's probably going to run the Goblin Electromancer out, and that really ramps up their deck. The Thief of Sanity is going to hit us again. One unknown, whatever's under the Thief of Sanity. It's got to be another Arclight Phoenix, I would assume. I mean, what'd they take over an Arclight Phoenix? Another Phantasm. Over an Electromancer? Over casting my Electromancer. Interesting. That's probably going to be the cast on Electromancer. Yep. Taking the damage. Search for Azcanta in a mountain. Unfortunately, there's the Arclight Phoenix, which we can Electromancer. And they can counter this with the Electromancer. This is pretty pivotal if they counter it. Okay, that's huge. So now I can go Radical Idea for the Runaway Steam-Kin. Whoops, I mean Arclight Phoenix. That was stupid of me. I had in my thought before then. I cannot concentrate today. Either way, the Radical, this one can get the Phoenix. So now we get a Phoenix back. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine that that's going to be the Sinister Sabotage. It does put some counters on the Thoughtbound Phantasm. But now our creatures gain first strike. And we get to draw a card. And I don't think, because this doesn't do, the maximized velocity doesn't really do haste on the Electromancer, but then takes 3 counters from this Runaway Steam-Kin. I think we save it. Because then we go to 6, the Arclight Phoenix comes back, that's 6. That doesn't really do anything to the Electromancer. Yeah, so we'll go to combat. And swing in with both, because that puts my opponent on a clock and has to leave back. That's fine. It does leave us open for like a target for the Thought Erasure. But I mean, this is a pretty... My opponent had a really solid hand. Really solid hand. A 1-drop. Yeah, it was an Arclight Phoenix my opponent had. Interesting. I don't think they can attack with anything here. 1 card in hand is reduced by the Goblin Electromancer. I don't think you're attacking with the Thief. Okay, my opponent's attacking with the Thief. So chart a course first, or we want to look for some maximize velocity. Has 5 blockers. Opponent's going to have to lose a lot here. We're going to chart for sure. Throw away the island. Tormenting Voice to throw away. That's fine. To pump up. So now we can velocity. Steam-Kins are both 4s. Can still chart a course again. And throw away the Sulfur Falls. Do I want some... So my opponent has to block with the Phoenixes, then I can get Phoenixes back the next turn. So just hold back blockers. So has to block with this Phoenix. I get that back in my graveyard. Goes to a 2. And I think I just hold everything up. Try to course is fine because we just draw cards. And keep those both in my hand, I believe. Are we going to need that much mana next turn? Yeah, I think so. Cast down is fine if my opponent has it. Looks like they're flooded. Needs to go Thief of Sanity to connect and try to hit something valuable off me. But the problem is I don't have anything that my opponent can really use. Had another Phoenix, huh? And an Enigma Drake. That's actually pretty good. But it has to keep back the Thief of Sanity. Okay, you just lost, buddy. You literally just lost. Why didn't my opponent just keep that back? Because we have 2 Arclight Phoenixes in the graveyard. Huh. So if my opponent would have kept the Thief back, they would have had to trade. And then they'd be left with Enigma Drake. So, oh well, that's fine. I mean, it works. And I don't even care what we throw the Tormenting Voice away. Yeah, we want. That's fine. We'll keep the Tormenting Voice. And Crash Through gains Trample. And hell, we'll just do a Radical Idea. That's 3 spells anyway. And let's see here. Probably should have used some of these Runaway Steam-Kins, but that's 3. These come back. They block, and take 3. So it wouldn't have mattered if my opponent would have attacked in because of the... No, it would have, because Crash Through is not affecting these ones. It's only affecting that one. So... Nothing else flies. Yep. Okay, awesome. We do have a sideboard, though. I don't know if this is like a River's Rebuke game or a Rouse Eric game. It feels like it's a Murmuring Mystic game, though. It feels like it's a... It doesn't even feel like a Disdainful Stroke game. What did we see? We saw... Beacon Bolt... Fire Cannonade can actually deal with all the thieves. This is interesting. I don't know if we really need to... I don't want Enigma Drake. It seems like a liability. Ral is okay, but they're trying to be a Surveil tempo deck, and it might just get ripped out. Gutter Snipe, same thing. I don't think this is a Gutter Snipe. Like, Fire Cannonade actually might be a decent card to bring in because I'm thinking Night Veil Sprites are in here. So I'm thinking Fiery Cannonades, all 3 of them can come in. The Mystic is a card I don't know if it wants to be in here. The thing is Tormenting Voice might be a liability with a discard card. And I don't need Maximize Velocity now without that. So we could bring in like a Murmuring Mystic. The thing is, if my opponent takes it with a Hostage Taker, we're in trouble. I'd almost like a River's Rebuke, but a River's Rebuke is... I didn't see enough targets, I don't think. So I think just something like Beacon Bolt coming in is fine. So my opponent with the Thief hit double on the Phoenixes. Thief is a pain. So yeah, I don't know. Lava Coils are a thing I think that probably needs to come in the... the reason why I ended up cutting Lava Coil is the one card I want to kill is Lyra, and it doesn't kill Lyra. So I end up cutting the Lava Coils for that reason. Oh, that's a beautiful hand. Beautiful, beautiful. Opponent mulligans, we'll keep... We got Steam Vince on turn 1. We got Goblin Electromancer on turn 2. We'll see if these fire cannons actually pay off. I'm surprised they kept in the Phantasm. So let's see if we're right with the Nightville Sprite. Dimir Spybug. Alright, so we need to get rid of that before it can surveil. So I'm not going to go Electromancer because we'll just... Hopefully my opponent can't surveil twice. Runaway Steam-Kin just dies if I fire a Cannonade. So I think we're just going to use Discovery this turn. And I don't know if we need either of these. I think I just want to dig. I mean, they work, though. They work with the... I wish... Yeah, I'm going to throw them both away. Yeah, we get a Warlords anyway. So best case scenario is they put out another payoff. Oh, they have counter up. I think I can give myself another turn. Counter surveil. You gotta think, it's gotta be a counter spell. Has to be a counter spell that's still up. And Steam-Kin is still not the right play. Let's just search for Azcanta. It gets countered, it gets countered. We could be just... Yeah, that's... It's got to be the counter surveil card. And that's just unfortunate that they had the nice little 1-2-3 punch there. Because they surveil again there. Oh, that hits. Okay, that is awesome. I could just run out of Warlords. Yeah, we're just going to actually cantrip a card. Just to throw another one in the graveyard. Alright, we're looking good. Awesome, we drew a land. We have 4 cards in the graveyard. Another Thoughtbound Phantasm. Oh. My opponent thought about countering that, though. That's the scary thing. We want that on our library. Yeah, that's a good one. So, here's the question. Do I try to spit off a Fiery Cannonade right now? Or do I try to leave us one more turn? I can go Electromancer and then Beacon Bolt. But then that kind of leaves me at the same... I can go Steam-Kin. Yeah, I can go Steam-Kin here. No, then I can't go Beacon Bolt. But I can go Steam-Kin and crash through. Alright, I'm going to go Steam-Kin. But I think you're right, Eurekan. I think I need to splash white and put in the 3 damage spell. And again, I think we'll just cantrip. Now I actually don't think they have the counter spell. There's a Phoenix. Alright, tap out for something so I can get rid of the Spybug. I do have to worry about the Whisperer, though. You gotta think the Doom Whisperer's in here. We can kill the Doom Whisperer, though. Do I want another land? No. We'll graveyard it. Because we drew one anyway. Now I can just throw out a Phoenix here. I don't think they have the other counter spell. Or we can just go for the Fiery Cannonade and see what happens. We have a Chart of Course after that. So, yeah, I think it's Cannonade time. And there it is. So, it's finally baited out. But we also have a 3-3. And then I can also Electromancer. And Search for Azcanta is going to flip. which I think is very reasonable. Opponent's down, missed a land drop. Didn't surveil either, so really liked whatever was on top. Hostage Taker. So, well, let's add 3 mana. Doesn't do anything, though. Womp womp. The Hostage Taker actually comes through. Definitely put that in the graveyard. Yes, transform. Okay, well, we're going to go for it. So we can Beacon Bolt a Hostage Taker. Yes. Beacon Bolt, Hostage Taker. Gets us back Runaway Steam-Kin. Beacon Bolt a Dimir Spybug? Or just, no, we'll chart a course here. Oh yeah, because we have another Arclight Phoenix. Discard this. Then we have Beacon Bolt on a... I think we just use Crash Through. I think Beacon Bolting just a Spybug is actually pretty reasonable here. This turn. Or, because we've cast... I'm just going to go for another Chart a Course. And discard a Mountain. And then we'll leave these up for the following turns. This brings back the Arclight Phoenixes. And also, this might force out like another Hostage Taker to take care of an Arclight Phoenix. Don't think I care too much about Notion Rain, because it doesn't put Dimir Spybug out of range for Arclight Phoenix either. Yeah, I think it is hold back spells. So we were right about the Night Veil Sprite. Unknown Hero. Yeah, land floods happen all the time. Did my opponent just lose? How much damage can I do? I can kill this Sprite, get in for 6. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't know if I care about the Sprite. I could leave back the Phoenixes defensively. 6. Again, I feel like I want to keep these back. There's a Phoenix. And we've cast enough spells this turn, right? So Radical Idea, yeah. Discard the Phoenix. So I can actually Beacon Bolt one of these Thoughtbound Phantasms. And then that allows us to get in for another 4. I think that's fine. Yeah, that worked out really well. Down to a 4. And now my opponent's really at the mercy of having a board wipe, and there's only one... I can only think of the 3 damage board wipe. Mission Briefing brings back what? Just a notion... Nothing. So just a Surveil. So we're both actually using new mechanics from new sets. Got kind of lucky with the... my opponent's just going to kill themselves, huh? And yeah, I'm trying to build a Surveil deck right now, but it's definitely a lot different than this. I don't use the Spybug because it was just I don't know, maybe I do need to use this. Yeah, Spybug's in there. Alright, then we'll go to combat, attack. And hey, look at that! What do we win for winning one match? It's a single elimination. It should have, the price should go sky high even after one. And we are now bronze tier. Haven't played much constructed at all. Just barely started playing. So at least we'll win 1,000 gold. So half of our... Ooh, we don't even break even until 3 wins, huh? All right. Well, here we go. Here goes nothing. Here's the second... match. And they have to pair you up versus like people that are at the same 1-0, or do they just like pair you up versus people that could be 0 and are 0-0? Womp womp. This is one that we could keep. We have double cantrips. Oh wow, this is such a powerful hand. I think we keep. Oh no, I only have 1 cantrip, but it's still pretty powerful. Steam Vents crash through. And then we are... Oh, I'm going to keep it. Seems bad. This seems really, really bad. But we're gonna cantrip. Nope, not yet. Because if we just hit 1 land, the Electromancer comes out. We're going against green. Land or else. Okay, so opponent gets off a good, and unfortunately, we have to pass the turn. We missed the land drop, so probably was a mulligan. But, oh, that was so... This hand is so payoff if we get just 1 more land with the Arclight Phoenix, our Goblin Electromancer, into the next turn going crazy. Now we can still do it with Radical... No, Radical Idea still needs to be reduced, so... Oh, wow. We're definitely bringing in our board wipe. Oh, that sucks. Gonna throw the maximized velocity. Yeah, we lost this one. We had a bunch of... Ferox actually isn't that threatening. There's worse things my opponent could have done this turn. Also, they missed a land drop. Oh, there we go. We are online. We are online. Okay, so we're gonna have to take 6 this turn, 7, 8 this turn, but possibly we can get back in this. Unless this gets the Convoked enchantment. Just another Pelt Collector. Oh, that one's going to be tough to beat. All Nullhide Ferox.deck. Alright, kept a greedy hand. I don't know in single eliminations if we can keep greedy hands, but... I need to find another Arclight so I can get 2 and then start playing defensively with the Arclights. But again, I don't even know if that's going to be an option at this point. That's definitely not where I want to be. Unfortunately, we can't even get the Runaway Steam-Kin to go crazy, crazy. So, Tormenting Voice, Arclight Phoenix. Didn't even hit one there, jeez. Tormenting Voice. And at this point, what's the worst card? Probably, honestly, a Crash Through. No, we want a red option, so... it's just going to be a Radical Idea that can go away. And we did not hit one. We do hit the Sulfur Falls, but I believe this is just game here. Unless this Discovery can find some Phoenixes. And no, it does not. In fact, I should probably... Yeah, it's just going to be game. Only one comes back, and our opponent kills us on the backswing. This is one that River's Rebuke actually seems pretty good. Fiery Cannonade, I don't know if I saw enough. We probably do need to bring it in. And River's Rebuke. Disdainful Stroke, no, because it can't be countered. Murmuring Mystic is interesting because we have time to build up. I don't think we need a Beacon Bolt or a Gutter Snipe. Like, this is... we need to... Velocity out. Enigma Drake can actually win on the back. I think the Enigma Drake and the Velocity are out. I think just 2 Tormenting Voices, or maybe even the Search for Azcanta at this point, might be the weak link. How good's Runaway Steam-Kin in this one? I'm going to cut 2 Steam-Kins. Yeah, I want the Search for Azcantas because it can get us the... And maybe these Fire Cannons are just terrible, but, I mean, any Llanowar Elf deck, they seem okay versus. And Pelt Collector. Well, this is unfortunate when that happens. We'll keep this. It's pretty terrible. Oh, this is actually okay. It's fine for those to stay on top. Enters tapped. So let's just hope for no first turn Llanowar Elf. Okay, no first turn Llanowar Elf. So we'll start the Discovery. Don't want any more lands, and I think we're actually going to throw away the Radical. We're just going to try to dig. Tormenting Voice is good too for next turn. The Discovery Dispersal is better. Find those Phoenixes. 10 cards down. You should have one in 10 cards. Yeah, because that's... Druid of the Cowl. That one dodges any sort of... Alright, so Steam Vents. Well, let's first of all just go... Tormenting Voice for what? One of these Warlord's Furies is fine. A crash through a Warlord's Fury. And still didn't find it. Dig. Ooh. Now we're 46, so we're 14 cards down and nothing. Unfortunately, this could be the Ferox turn. But pretty bad odds there. The first game we had great Phoenixes, and that's the problem with this deck. It's very Phoenix reliant, especially the way we've built it. Beast Whisperer, uh-oh. So River's Rebuke, though, is going to be really good versus something like that. I think at this point, we'll lead off with Discovery. We can throw away both again. Play the Sulfur Falls. And unfortunately, Tormenting Voice away an island. Still nothing. We've gone through 20 cards and no Phoenixes. And no River's Rebuke. So yeah, the Pirate's the 2 damage spells are pretty bad, actually. I think Eurekan's right. This has to splash a white. And that's another aggressive... Because yeah, we could just wipe the board here if we did the 3 damage to each creature spell. So that's definitely something we need to bring in. We need to put in the sideboard. And then, I don't know how many white sources we'd have to run at that point. We're going to be running a lot of Shocklands, unfortunately. I mean, we could just give up the black, run 1 black source, run 1 Watery Grave, and maybe 2... I don't know about putting a land in the sideboard. That seems pretty bad. But it might be that important. River's Rebuke's going to give us an out here. So I think that it's better than Chart of Coursing. I think we just Radical Idea. Well, Sulfur Falls... Yeah, River's Rebuke definitely does give us a... I'm going to Chart a Course. Come on, Phoenixes. Where art thou? Hey, there's the Phoenixes. And can we get them out this turn? Yes, we can. Awesome. Now, do I need to play aggressive? I think I do want to play aggressive. So we Radical Idea the Phoenix. Awesome. Okay, we're in great shape. I could leave one back, but I have River's Rebuke coming out next turn. And that's where I think I want to be. I don't really care about Seal Away either, because we get that back with Seal Away, and that goes back to the hand. So my opponent's down to a 14. And the race is definitely on. Again, I don't know if I need to do River's Rebuke this turn. 6. Oh, we need to find one more Phoenix, for sure. Okay, we have to River's Rebuke next turn for sure. Yeah, I can't not River's Rebuke. So Catacomb is probably more powerful than a mountain. And this really slowed my opponent down too. I think they gained 4 life off the Knight. No, Beast is the wrong. They could go Beast and Druid, and I think that's the wrong play. The 4 life off the Knight is rough though. So maybe more River's Rebukes. The problem is we're such a low mana count. I don't know if we can rely on River's Rebuke. I want something that's like 4 mana is the max of where this deck wants to be with. We need these Arclight Phoenix a little bit earlier. And I got rid of the maximizes, so there's no way to... Should be gaining 4 life. Ooh, my opponent is definitely... Thorn Lieutenant. Alright, so there's no way I can win on this turn. I'm going to leave 1 back. Oh, I probably should have gone for a Phoenix here. That was dumb. See if we would have hit a Phoenix. I mean, this draws more cards, though. Nope, it didn't matter. I'll Electromancer here just for some... And I think I can play out of land, yep. For a radical idea if I need to. Unfortunately, these Fiery Candidates... No, Fiery Candidates can wipe the board and bring back our stuff. So... And running the Knight out without getting life... Yeah, Beast Whisper is bad here. These are going to have to come out. Oh, there's just nothing in the sideboard slot. I mean, I could go Ral, but this is a pretty aggressive deck. Oh... Enigma Drake actually does seem... Okay, so Beacon Bolt and Enigma Drake could come in. I've definitely... Runaway Steam-Kin doesn't seem... Murmuring Mystic could be okay for chump blockers forever. I could go that. I wonder how well that will help me. They don't have any trample that I saw. But... And this is a 1/5 butt. So we could just put some big butts in. And I don't think... Ral is too tough to protect. So something like this? We can't go the velocity route. Beacon Bolt, though. Beacon Bolt can kill 2. I don't think Beacon Bolt really kills what we want it to kill. Because I don't know if we care about the Beast. The Beast Whisperer is just too slow. Alright, let's cross our fingers for some good hands. And... On the draw is much, much worse, though, because this could be turn 1 Llanowar Elf into Jadelight Ranger. That's one of the reasons 2-run Lava Coil is definitely Jadelight Ranger. And this hand is awful. It's awful because I don't know what the hell the future holds. I do have a turn 2 Search for Azcanta, which probably will get 2 or 3 cards worth of value in the graveyard. But suggestions in chat, too. Is there any cards I'm forgetting about? Our Lava Coil is just a necessary evil that I have to throw in. Because I can't think of any other cards that just strictly do damage to creatures. Like, Our Devastation would be amazing. What do we have? Rakdos coming up in the next set, so we probably will see some sort of Rakdos wipe. And that would be awesome. That would be perfect, because then that wouldn't make us go into... I mean, that's thinking way too far ahead, though. But... Well, Fight with Fire is a 5 damage spell for 3 mana. It does kill Lyra. Yeah, that's probably definitely better than Lava Coil, for sure. Yeah, that's a good idea, Yurikin. Sorcery doesn't really matter too much, because we want to be casting spells on our turn anyway. And I hope I'm not Arena Frozen. Has anyone happened this with the Arena Freeze? I mean, I want to keep this anyway. Ah, we're Arena Frozen. Okay, 1 second here. I hate this thing. All right, let's load it back up. Does this all the time on the sideboard. And it's all 3 computers that I play Arena on, so this happens. Come on, Arena. Don't make me lose a game because of this. So I hope this didn't make me just pass the turn. Because that's going to be, worse than a mulligan. Okay, it made me keep the hand, but we're okay with keeping the hand. And they had the Llanowar Elf. Womp, womp, womp. So Steam Vents. Enter tap, there's no point. Yeah. And we have Electromancer next turn, or Search for Azcanta. I'm not sure. I think actually Search for Azcanta is better. Don't do Jade Light. Don't do Jade Light! I mean, even an Elf at this point is tough. Or Steel Leaf, I mean, not Jade Light. Steel Leaf's even worse. Yeah, we lost. We lost. Search for Azcanta. This is Dominaria for you. I hate Dominaria. It's one of the worst sets ever, in my opinion. Look at all the crap they printed. Teferi, Chain Whirler, and Steel Leaf Champion that force you to play these really linear, Everyone talks about how good Dominaria was. I disagree. Dominaria was a dumpster fire. It's an awful set. It was an awful set to draft. It was an awful set in sealed, and it's done awful things for constructed. We got rid of Kaladesh, but then we still have these really problematic. See, now I want my fiery candidate. Oh, yeah, my opponent's basically God drawing me out here too. This was a mistake. Why the hell would you print a Llanowar Elf and a Steel Leaf Champion in the same standard format? Okay, River's Rebuke is a way we can get out of this. Sort of ish, but it's still bad. I tried the Zero Food Buyer, by the way, Waka. I didn't like it. So, Warlord's Fury's fine to spend our mana. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Warlord's Fury. I take 8 this turn? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to River's Rebuke in time. Oh, I take 10 this turn. Yeah, it's over. I need the Fiery Cannonade this turn to wipe the board and just have a Steel Leaf. A Kalta. Oh, who... Dominaria. Dominaria. A stupid set. I don't know, maybe it's Splash and Double for Cleansing Nova. Well, that was it. I don't think... Can we somehow win if I just take 10 damage? I don't think so. Because the Runaway Steam-Kin's not in here to, like, ramp us up. Plus, it doesn't ramp up. Dumbest interaction. Llanowar Elf and a Steel Leaf Champion. Alright, I'm done. I'm done whining. We'll play another... I don't know if we'll play another one of these tier 1s. Graveyard this. Crash Through's terrible. We're 1 off for casting a River's Rebuke. And there's no way we can even touch this Galta. Let's see what we can do. Let's go Radical Idea. Justice Strike is just, it's even worse on the mana is the problem. I mean, this game is probably the difference between going first and second, though. Because if we would have gone first, River's Rebuke is coming out like, this is the attack in, and then River's Rebuke is coming out the next turn. And then we do have the Arclight Phoenix. So, you know, this matchup is probably winnable. Unfortunately, yeah, we can't block enough. Sad face. Llanowar Elves into Steel Leaf Champion. So many times I've lost to that stupid combo. And it just leads to, like I said, really linear games and not skill intensive whatsoever. Like Galta, Steel Leaf Champion, and when Ronus was there, I'm glad it wasn't a good deck. Like, I'm glad that Mono Green was so horrible versus Black Red Vehicles, because at least you get a somewhat play against Black Red Vehicles or Black Red aggro. Stompy players. They're as bad as just Mono Red aggro players. It's just and Zach's won. All right, let's try. Should we try? Okay, let's
play Stompy. It's elves.
The Deafening. I do have two. I have three of them. Wow, I picked these up. All right, so sideboard. The Cannonade's out. I think the Gutter Snipe's out. And let's just see what we can do with white lands. So let's look at Sacred Foundry. I have 0 Sacred Foundry. Are you kidding me? Do you know how many drafts I've done? What's the other one called? And I don't know how well Ral is. If Ral is just a one of. Yeah, Ral's probably bad. River's Rebuke seemed really good, though. I hate to, like, redeem a rare for it, though. That's the problem with the Deafening Clarion. Yeah, 3 damage each creature just doesn't have another. There's just no other option. So I think that's the only way to go. Oh, that's a nice arena. You're not even finding it, so. And then, yeah, the other shocks don't exist yet. I don't think we can just play with one source. So absolutely. Cephion, originally I did the $100 arena thing clear back in beta to try to see if it was worth it. And short answer is no. I wouldn't spend a dime on arena. So that's where the original gems come from. So since then, I mean, since it's been an open beta, I've not spent a cent on this. Platform. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want Deafening Clarions. What is the red-white land out of Dominaria? I doubt I have it, though. What can I think of what it's called? Mountain Plains. Oh, I do have a Clifftop Retreat. I hate to redeem a Sacred Foundry. Clifftop Retreat just seems worse than a Sacred Foundry. And the problem is, do I just give up on the Discovery to Dispersal completely? I think I do. I don't think. I'll keep in one. So let's get rid of the Clifftop. We'll throw the Clifftop in the main. 2 sources, though, are still not going to get me there. And again, we're out of rares at this point. And all right, we're not gonna draft. We're just going to draft to see if we can get a Sacred Foundry. All right, so we're just gonna go through this draft, see if we can pick up some cards. I'll go through the draft. Eternal Troll's okay. Discovery to Dispersal is amazing. It sets you up into a lot of different... You can play it in Izzet, you can play it in Dimir. The Status of Statue, though, is one of the best splashable cards in the set. So the Status Statue would definitely be the pick here. Command of the Storm would be okay. The Piston Fist Cyclops would also be okay. Whisper Agent would be okay. All these cards are okay to pick first because they're very versatile to throw in many decks. But I like the Status to Statue because it's very splashable, and it can go in either Celestia, just with the Status. Yeah, this is a very, very good first pick. All right. Dimir Spybug is a favorite of mine when going into the Dimir strategy. We have a Command the Storm, a Direct Current, and a Sonic Assault, looking that this will probably wheel one of them. Not a fan of Spinal Centipede in if we go into Dimir, but it's very good if we go into Golgari. Golgari Raiders is insanely good both in Celestia and in Golgari? Yeah, right there. And then the Wood Shaper's really good in Celestia, but I don't know. I typically, when a Dimir Spybug's early, it's something I like to pick up. Mausoleum Secrets is a good card. Really good card. Darkblade Agent, though, if we're going to commit, is the right pick. Unexplained Disappearance hopefully can wheel. And the Swarm Guildmage, though, is just insanely good. I just don't like to pick it up this early because I don't know if I'd be in Golgari. So, again, yeah, we're just grabbing cards. We'll go back to it. But I just want to go through a draft of what would be. Maybe we'll play it later on if I keep streaming. Gateway Plaza is a good one to splash. Dazzling Rites is amazing in this Surveil deck, but Whisper Agent is a very, very solid card. So we take it, and this is looking to be a very good deck so far. Unfortunately, this pack just doesn't have anything. You don't want it. In Dimir, you don't want the Mesmerist or the Vicious Rumors. Flower to Flourish is okay, but the only card that I think that we could even think about even splash is the Undercity Uprising, which is another great splash card. This comes back, another Dazzling Lights and a Darkblade Agent. The Muse Drake is acceptable, but we're definitely into Surveil now. This is a very strong Surveil deck so far. At this point, the Mephitic Vapors is slightly better than the Golgari Guildgate. This is a card you absolutely want to be picking up because it both shuts down a lot of Boros cards and the Celestia cards. So glad to see a Vapors. Also has pretty good synergy with the Darkblade Agent because the Vapors then just brings it to a 1-2, and you don't care anyway. We got another Darkblade Agent. We don't need to pick up any more. We've got them all. Radiclite is always good for these, but another Whispery Agent. This deck's already insane if we were going to play it in a... and we will later on. I think that the Crab isn't where you want to be. You can bring it as a sideboard card, but if we're splashing, the Raiders just might be better. And then the Vapors comes back. Dazzling Lights comes back. And just take the uncommon because it gets you closer towards the... Yeah, I don't even need a... I'm not going to even need a third pack. Unfortunately, we did not hit a Steam Vents. We can hit the other Darkblade Agent, which I think is just slightly better than a Chamber Sentry as a 3/3. The Unexplained Disappearance, if we're like, okay, I need more Surveil cards. This could easily come back. I'm not a big fan of counter spells unless there's... Like, I still think the Darkblade Agent is the best. I don't know. Disappearance might be the right pick here because we have 2 Surveil cards. No, we got a lot of Surveil cards here with the Vapors. All right, I think one more Darkblade Agent's good. Okay, we'll just win this. Altitude's not that great. This is not a good. I mean, Law of the Giant's okay. I could see bringing it in as a finisher. It's better for Golgari. The Passable Adept is a decent little card to bring in, but, I mean, we already have enough. Let's take the Giant. And Disappearance, by far Disappearance. Sprite. Is Sprite better than a Disappearance in this deck? Slightly. But we also have the Dimir Informative. This computer just wants me to have like the most busted Dimir deck ever. Unfortunately, this is a pretty bad pack. We don't really have any options. I'm not a big fan of the Painter in a Dimir deck, so we'll just fix our mana. Never Happens a decent sideboard card. The Drake is a decent filler card. Select a Snare is something I don't like. So it's between these two. And I think Never Happen can get rid of a bomb, but we might be low on playables with... the Drake's fine. That's another Spybug. Hey, did you pick a Spybug? I got a counterspell and we'll play it. Disdainful Stroke's a decent little sideboard card. And same thing with the Pass Wall. Adept is a decent sideboard card. Another one for the sideboard. Take the uncommon. Take the uncommon. And take a sideboard card. Thief of Sanity. Alright, no Steam Vents. However, we hit the most broken deck imaginable. Hopefully this Unexplained Disappearance wheels. I think Thief of Sanity is just slightly better than Watcher. But Watcher's busted too, but we'll take it. Thought Erasure. Yep, Thought Erasure is where we want to be. It's a good one of. Divine Visitation is not a card that I even want to brew around. It's just really, really slow. So Thought Erasure for the deck. Guildgate is probably the right card or Radical Idea. I'm pretty solid already on playable, so one thing I can guarantee to fix is my mana base. The Imp is something that this deck doesn't need at the moment, so I think just the going into the Guildgate is the right pick. A Disappearance came. Hopefully another one comes back. Thoughtbound Phantasm is super good, but I actually think the Unexplained Disappearance is slightly better with 4 Darkblade Agents. So, I don't know. This is pretty sixes here. I would like a few more Surveil cards, if possible, than the Thoughtbound Phantasm. But we do have, like, the Mephitic Vapors works with it. The Nightveil Sprite works with it. The Whisper Agents work with it. This is really, really tough pick. And we might have an Unexplained Disappearance coming back, though. So I'm going to make the Phantasm because I think it's a good filler slot. Golgari Guildgate allows us to splash for the Urborg Uprising if we need to. I'm not sure at this point we need to, but there's nothing else in here that's decent, so we'll get the Guildgate. And speaking of another Guildgate, that's fine. Now we can definitely splash for their 2 removal spells. And I don't know if 3 is just overkill, but there's nothing else. Unexplained came back, so 3 is perfect. Another Guildgate if we want to play it. Crushing Canopy now is better than Radical Idea for a sideboard card. Good sideboard card. Decent sideboard card. And that's that. Unfortunately, we did not hit a Steam Vents, so that rare's out of the way. Again, I don't know if we can play the... I'll probably do some non-sideboard games just to get it going. But yeah, this deck ended up being insanity. We don't even need a forest. Why are they want us to have a forest here? What is any fillers here? We'd have to cut 1 card, so the Raiders would just be cut. This deck's amazing. A lot of Guildgates coming to play tapped. I don't even know if we'd need all of these Guildgates. Like, cut there. And I don't even know if we need the Uprising. Status Statue gives us 3 sources. Yeah, this would be a great deck right here. Anyway, we'll have to play that another time. I've also got this Sealed Guilds of Ravnica that I did. Because it got 2 Steam Vents. So I got to think this sealed. Because it found us the double Steam Vents. But alright, so let's go back to the deck. We won't mess with the sideboard at the moment. I definitely do with the Deafening Clarion has to be in here. And so that means we probably have to go, instead of basic mountains, it's going to be heavy on the Steam Vents for our mountain slots. So probably like 4 Steam Vents. Might end up cutting the Watery Grave completely, as it just, and then just not have the angle for the Discovery Dispersal. I do like it though, because like I said, it has got rid of Elira and won the game for me. You never know if this can get rid of like a hostage taker, but yeah, these numbers will have to come up. Basic islands are still okay, and they'll still be able to get like the Sulfur Falls into play untapped, which is fine. But as it is right now, we don't need the Clifftop Retreat in So I'm just going to throw it to the sideboard for now until we get enough rares to actually have a decent mana base. So Cliff Drop Retreat, off the deck, into the sideboard, and then back to our main deck, we can just put the Catacomb back in. So Catacomb there. This is our original list. How does everyone feel? I think it's actually doing very, very well so far. I'm going to throw some Fight with Fires in the sideboard. I think they're actually Lyra killers. I think this is pretty good. I mean, the kicker's never going to happen. But the Fight with Fire to do 5 damage. Is there another 5 damage spell besides Fight with Fire? And it doesn't like me putting... I guess Banefire is always an option. How do I have 4 Banefires? That's crazy. I played like 2 drafts. Or is there a deck that like had plenty of Banefires in it? Yeah, it's just... nothing really I think we can put in that slot. I don't know. But interacting with mono green is probably somewhere we want to be, unless we can go into more Rivers Rebukes. Like between the Search for Azcantas and the Goblin Electromancers, I think Rivers Rebuke can be cast on time. So let's go ahead and place them. Let's enter it into. Oops, let's enter it into just a competitive construct. Let's just do a regular constructed event, since we're not worried about a sideboard. And see how well it works. I actually think this is one of these decks that might not be geared for a one match. I'm thinking that Deafening Clarion is going to give us a really good matchup versus some of the aggro Boros lists, and decent versus, plenty of other creature-based decks. It seemed pretty good against the mono green. It's going to miss a lot of times against some of their cards, but still hit the majority. Still going to hit like even Jaylight Rangers if they go that route. Still going to hit the Knights. This is a very good hand. It's got the Radical Ideas. In fact, we might need to get... It's going to be Discovery before Radical Ideas. Unfortunately, we can't just throw away a Crash Through, because the Sulfur Falls does come into play tapped. I don't know how much longer I'm going to go for Sevon. I'm just going to keep playing until we get sick of the... so Chart of Course is just a little bit better, since we have a target. Night Veil Sprite. I mean, this is an option in our deck. I think it's kind of slow, though. So we're going against another Surveil deck. Seem to get off, not the 1-2 punch we want it to. Oh, this is the mono blue deck. This is another one where the Deafening Clarion would do insanely good against. So Essence Scatter's a real thing, but I still think we run it out. Well, do you want to go... I think this... Yeah, the Runaway Steam-Kin might just be better to bait out an Essence Scatter. Okay, so we baited it out. That's better than losing our Electromancer. Next turn, if we draw into a land, we're in pretty decent shape. Ugh, that's going to be rough. If our opponent misses a land drop, though, we guarantee the Electromancer. So this deck is very Curious Obsession dependent. Like, that's one of the problems I have with the mono blue deck. If you don't have a Curious Obsession, it feels like it just runs out of steam very quickly. Alright, missed the land drop, and we hit our land drop. So this can be a very good turn. We could actually go for the Arclight Phoenix rather than the 1, 2, 3... I don't like the play, though. I think that we want to just get the Electromancer out. Does give my opponent another draw, but yeah, this is good. So we'll go Discovery. And I kind of like all of these. We can probably put the Warlord's Fury away just because I have 2 red spells right now. And this gives us another Discovery this turn to try to hit more Phoenixes. And we hit a Phoenix. I don't know if we even need the Tormenting... Yeah, Tormenting Voice is fine. Yeah, this is going to be tough for my opponent to beat this draw. Because we can start using the Phoenixes defensively. The Sprite goes ahead and throws away. We do have to worry about the Tempest Djinn. Lido, I appreciate that comment. Phoenix is great. You got to play it. Well, a little bit of a bit of honesty here. I did buy like 150 copies of Arclight Phoenix mainly because I found a discrepancy in pricing. TCG Player was selling them for about the $2.50 mark. Card Kingdom has them at the buy list at $2.70. So right there was a 20-cent increase if I just wanted to buy list them back. But anyway, let's go with another discovery. Trips on the discovery. Oh ho ho ho! Trips on the Phoenixes. Boom. We are in great shape. You are getting 3 Phoenixes to the face this turn, unless I want to keep one back. And we have... Let's go for another Tormenting Voice. Yeah, that's fine. We want to wait on the Tormenting Voices. Yeah, let's just go for a radical idea. That's the 3rd spell we've cast this turn. I wish it had like a counter. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And so we don't really need to cast anything. I was hoping to hit a land there, but I'm actually going to cast a Crash Through just a cantrip as well. And we hit a land, but we'll save everything from here on out. So yeah, this is the Phoenix deck. I mean, this is very good luck because we found 3 Phoenixes in 24. Ideally, though, we can go through about half our deck and we find this deck needs to operate on 2 Phoenixes. I still need to find... so this is making my life easy for me by... No, okay, so we're gonna leave 1 Phoenix back. Do you know what? Do I leave any Phoenixes back? I think I just pass. This is gonna be miserable for my opponent to deal with the Phoenixes. Chloe, beer me. Another Trickster. Do you have another Trickster? Trickster for your Nightfall Sprite? Okay. Oh, it's going to go for an Arclight Phoenix. That is interesting. I think that going for a Trickster there would have been the better play. So we will block Phoenix on a Phoenix because this is such a renewable resource. And we can definitely get back the Phoenix this turn if I care. I might wait a turn. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go search for Azcanta. And just play a mountain. I probably need to play that mountain, but pass the turn, or do I want the Phoenix back? I can probably get the Phoenix back and still be okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And start getting in for some damage. What's going on, Mario? Welcome, welcome. Yep, that's all we need to do this turn. Keep back the Phoenixes as blockers. I wonder how well this card would actually do in the deck too, the Metamorphic Alteration. I think the clone would be better though, the Jumpstart clone. That's going to be an annoying card to deal with. But eventually we can out-tempo it. Do it. Not going to use a Radical Idea. Search for Azcanta flips. So should be able to find us some nice. Definitely put that in the graveyard. Transform. And we draw Steam Vents anyway. So we can get in for 3 and then hold stuff. This is just kind of a stalemate with these Tempests. So we need to find our little 4/4s to get through with that. So I'm just going to Radical Idea. And Chart a Course actually seems good post. Yeah, it doesn't seem to worth it to get in just for 3 damage. Although it is a very easy renewable resource. Electromancer is probably something that's just better to throw away. So this gets back our Phoenix and draws us a lot of cards. And I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to get in for 3 damage. So blocks with the Tempest and goes down to a 14. And we can really fill back up our hand with Chart of Courses. Yeah, I'll actually cast the other one. Too bad this Phoenix can't trigger just whenever you cast 3 spells. But, like, had a little suspend counter on it. That'd be the better way to do it. Jeez, we can actually just play an island now. I'm gonna pass it. Interesting. Wants that Surveil. I don't know if I like that attack. It has to have a tempo thing, so block there. Just dive down. Yeah, who cares about that? Yeah, cost a card for a renewable resource. I definitely could run out of cards, so I gotta be careful here. We need the Runaway Steam-Kin, and we still haven't found it. Well, let's go Tormenting Voice. Can a Wizard's Retort the Tormenting Voice? Sure. Wow. And I think I'm just going to leave these back this turn. No, I think we still just need to attack in with 2 of them. Puts my opponent down to an 11. 2 cards in hand. I'm going to play this other Electromancer. It's kind of pointless, but when we're looking to apply pressure, it's probably the right route to go. Do I need a black source? I'll play the Drowned Catacomb in case I draw my last. I should have one more discovery. And that might actually be pretty good because it'll bounce back a Tempest Djinn. So you just gave up? Is that what you just did, opponent? Right? I mean, now I have to sort of... I mean, double... No, there's no... I don't think there's a way my opponent can win this. Yeah, so we attack in with everything. Can't give it haste because we don't have a maximized velocity yet. But this is still the smart card to play. We'll go the Steam-Kin. Does have a response in the hand, so some sort of counterspell. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so that is lethal, I believe. Yep. And that's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I know. They came way, way, way late. And I don't know where the numbers of those are correct. Like, I wish it would get a little bit bigger than 4/4. I wish I had like trample or something. But man, my dog won't go get me a beer. Sad. You're worthless. I saw YouTube dogs do it. How come you can't do it? This is a weird hand, but I think it's keepable. I do need a drink. I'll be right back. That was easy. All right, so Sulfur Falls going to play tap, pass the turn, then we have a search for Azcanta. Stay hydrated, folks. Okay, so let's go the search. And I don't know, maybe we need to go 2 of Enigma Drake. I still need to figure out the perfect numbers, and it takes a while to do so. It took me forever for Marionette Master to find the perfect numbers. Alright, I'm just going to Enigma Drake here. If it eats a removal spell, it eats a removal spell. It does, in fact, eat a removal spell. And we'll library this, because it is very good. And just radical idea to try to hit a land drop. Did not hit a land drop. Pass the turn. 3 cards in the graveyard. Kills the Electromancer. That's 4. Yep, there's the Choop. So getting tempoed out by these instigators, but I'm going to graveyard that just because we're going to try to hit a land. Runaway Steam-Kin. Probably not where I want to be. 5... I'm going to chart a course and get rid of this search for Azcanta. And now I will go Runaway Steam-Kin. And then that way it gets a counter off the Electromancer. So I'm going to take some damage again. It seems like some just little red-black tempo deck. Rekindling Phoenix is actually not that great versus us. No blockers. I need to find the Phoenixes and I need to find them fast. Graveyard that. Transform. Steam Vents is definitely not what I want. This, though, does give me an Electromancer, which pumps up the Steam-Kin. I'm not going to play the second Steam-Kin because I think I need to get rid of it to try to find... that was not where I wanted to be. We'll get rid of the next one. This is really taking away my ability to... That's also not what I want to be doing. Yikes. Electromancer is the right card to get rid of now. I don't know if I need to play the other Sulfur Falls. We'll just keep it up. That was not good. We have gone through 38 cards to try to find... Or 22 cards to try to find our first Drake. Or Phoenix. And double Rekindling Phoenixes are actually not that great versus... Have to make this trade, I believe. And if I don't find one next turn, I just lose, and that's what it's looking to be. There we go. But I mean, this is pretty bad to try to get there. There's two. There's three. Let's try to hit another one. Womp womp. So we'll save the radical. I can play Sulfur Falls just fine. And go to combat. So if a removal spell comes, we just lose. And the thing is, these Phoenixes bounce off each other quite annoyingly. Siege Gang. Oh, that's rough because that just does the damage to the face. Kind of weird attack with the goblins. I mean, it's fine. Block here, block here. And I don't think there's a way we're going to come back from this. Took way too long to find our first Phoenix. And that's, again, the problem with this deck. I don't think we end a turn. I can make my opponent disperse back the Siege Gang. That gives me another turn. Sort of. No, blocks. We have to use the Discovery. I don't think there's a way we can come out of this. Well, I mean, we started to stabilize. Needed the second Phoenix, and I think this would have been fine. And that is 3, so we can just right now go to our... And just cracks two goblins and we lose. Can even just attack in with everything too. And we take 4. All right, 1-1. Close, though. That game was a lot closer than it looked. Do you know what another 5 damage spell is? The split card. That actually might be better than Fight with Fire. Alright, this one's fine. I feel like we do need one more threat, like another Enigma Drake in the deck. Or just some way to pump up like the Electromancers. Like a Trumpet Blast type card. What's it? Does that 5 damage spell actually take you an extra attack phase? Is that what it does on the split end? Someone in chat tell me. It's a split card with double hybrid red white, and then I can't remember what the other end of it does, because that is actually really potent. And if that's the case, I think we found our 5 damage spell. And that also makes me want to go more into white. So seal away is a thing, so we're not going to attack in. I think the right thing is just going to... I want double blue. I'm going to pay 2 life here. I want double blue, double red. We're just going to Enigma Drake and pass. I'm not going to run into a seal away. Yeah, that's definitely white. White's going to be the... Yes, response to 5 damage attacking a block creature. What does the other end do? Is the question. Two combats. All right, we found a card that probably wants to be in here. At least a one of. I mean, it's definitely the best removal choice. Let's go with a. I don't even know if I need a mountain here. Let's just go attack for 0. Still worried about seal away. Sweet. So my opponent decided not to. Oh yeah, because we can just go to, and we'll chart a course now. Because I don't want to be playing this other mountain when we can probably safely play it now. And then pass, and then next turn we can go crazy. You can't cast both sides, no. The thing is we can blow it early if we need to deal with a creature of our opponent. And it deals with Lyra. So that's exactly one of the answers I'm looking for. All right, so we need to find... Okay, let's go with the discovery first. But 2 attack phases definitely is where we want to be. This can go in the graveyard. Discovery's fine to stay on top. Because that allows us then to do it again for discovery. All right, let's find us a Phoenix. There we go. I think we'll throw both of those. Do I have played a land that dropped this turn? So we'll actually draw it because I can utilize a land. And then we can Warlord's Fury. And then Tormenting Voice. And I could go for some crazy stuff here. I think I'm going to go for it. So we're going to go maximize velocity. On the Electromancer. And we'll wait a turn. Because we bring it back, I can cast all of these and then get everything back. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go crazy here. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. That's why I like the Running Steam-Kin. And now I don't need to cast anything else. We do have 1 mana for something. So might as well pump it up. Trample. Combat. Brings 2 Phoenixes back. This is why I like the deck. This is where the deck is crazy. Attacking with everything. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22 damage. They have trample. So this is going to go through, and my opponent's at what, 1? Yes, 1. Whew! I don't have a Decklist out, Glenn. We're kind of building as we go. I'll put it... Here, I'll put it in chat. I'll put it in chat right now. But one thing, Glenn, it needs white. We need Deafening Clarions in the sideboard, and probably the response to Resurgence in the either main or sideboard. And I think it's going to make this deck actually be able to have less threats, because if you can do 2 Phoenix attacks in 1 turn, that's going to be on average 12 damage because you'll probably have the 2 Phoenixes is what we're trying to say. This deck goes through half your deck very, very quickly. All right, so let's go ahead and export. Let me come over here to the YouTubes, and here we go. There is, did that save? How does it save? I'm such a terrible streamer. I'll change the save. There you go. There it is. It's in the description of the video. Hopefully it should be there. If not, I'll put one in chat. So decks, user submitted deck, submit a deck, deck name, RDB Phoenix, description, stream. Phoenix stream. Format is standard. It is not private, and we don't care about specific. So, main board. Again, sideboard. I'm not even going to put the sideboard for the moment. All right, save. And here it is in... There you go. There's a Goldfish link to it. There's also a link in the description. I just don't like to give Goldfish publicity when they haven't been very nice to me in the past. So, I mean, I'd love to pump their stuff up, but you know, when they pull shenanigans, that pretty much done showing their stuff for them. But love Seth. I love Seth. Don't like their owner. He finds me problematic and won't let Seth play with me. That's the short end of the thing. Seth's daddy will not let Seth play with that bad influence, Kevin. Literal story. Literal interpretation. All right, so... All right, I've told this story before. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Waste of my time, waste of Seth's time, waste of everyone's time. Just because of image. And maybe I am. Maybe even after my rant earlier today... was bad image for people throwing shade at some other YouTubers, but just quit lumping me in with the Taras and Desolators, please. If you want me to rage quit YouTube quicker than anything, it's going to be... Anyway, where are we at? Let's play. Play. 1 loss, 2 wins. Does that link work for everyone? Should be all good. It wasn't private. It's by anonymous. Working out pretty decent. I hope you do, though. Go buy some Arclight Phoenixes, though. Go spike those up. Tell your friends. Tell your cousins. Tell your enemies. Buy the Arclight Phoenixes. Kevin needs a good payday. I've had some good specs in the past, but I've had like a real quick spec that is just doubled up overnight. That's what I'm hoping with this particular one. All right, so if there's no point not to go to the Sulfur Falls, so let's go to the Sulfur Falls. Or unless we want to just cantrip a Warlord. Nah, I don't think so. Hope you enjoy, Glenn. Here we can just go an island. And we'll start the Tormenting Voices with the Phoenix. And that was an awful Tormenting Voice. Funny thing about bad influences. Never mind, you're going to get me raging. Because Steel Leaf Champion. Either play a way to remove Steel Leaf Champion or lose. Meta. Anyway, one of my friends growing up, his parents were ultra conservative and wouldn't let him really do anything. I can't cast 3 spells this turn, can I? Let's just go ahead and chart a course. And his parents, again, wouldn't let him go to like school activities till he was like 16. Wouldn't let him hang out with people they didn't know. Wouldn't let him hang out with specific people they did know. But his mom once set me aside and said, we like our kid hanging out with you because you're the perfect bad influence. you're bad enough that we'll get them to break rules, because they didn't want them to be really stingy. They just set rules because they didn't want their kids breaking, like, you know, big rules. And so you're the perfect bad influence, but not bad influence where we have to worry. And so I was the only one he's able to hang out with until he's like 16, 17. It's pretty awkward. All right, so this turn we can put out. I don't think we're going to win this. Steely Champion is just too tough for how we've got the deck built. Again, we're going to have to bite the bullet and probably run removal in the main. Typically, I don't like to be the deck that runs removal. But, and let's see, the Untamed Copy, the Pet Collector. Yeah, we can go Electromancer and cast 2 spells. And possibly... No, I think that we have to get the Phoenix back and then trade with something this turn. Which sucks. Let's see what the Discovery hits us. Hits us garbage. Well, at least we want to draw it. And a Runaway Steam-Kin can go crazy next turn and actually block the... That actually might be the play. Yeah, that might be the play. Because if anything can get us back out of it, might be this. I'm going to take some massive damage this turn, though. Off of 2 lands. Yay, Steel Leaf Champion. Yay, Dominaria. Everyone's favorite set. We just love Teferis and Steel Leaf Champions and Goblin Chain Whirlers. Great set. Best set ever. Salty. Kevin is salty. I like Dominaria for like the first week, and then I was sick of it. Alright, so we can go Electromancer pumps it up, and we can cast 3 spells to get back, and that gives us a blocker for the Steel Leaf. I think that's the right play. And also gives the Runaway Steam-Kin a... So I want to go Radical Idea. Yeah, Radical Idea is fine here. Because we can still maximize velocity. I think I'd rather pump up my 2 creatures. So we'll go Warlord's Fury. Unfortunately, we don't have another Phoenix again. 20 is about... we should be hitting the 2nd Phoenix by now. But... So Phoenix on the Steel Leaf Champion. Our opponent might just not even attack in. There's a 3rd land, though, so 4th land could bring out a 6/6. You were really worried about Fatal Push and a Walking Ballista? That wasn't even like that meta for a long time. I mean, it's Heart of Koran defined the meta for, I would say, way more definitively than that. And just like I said, the Nullhide Ferox came out, but if we can get enough Phoenixes out, we can indefinitely just chump block forever. So I still think we just block with the Phoenix. Ugh. All right, we can get the Phoenix back easily this turn. We have plenty of spells. I'd like to get this other Drake out. At this point, it's fine to keep these. We'll get the Tormenting Voice. I'm pretty sure we'll hit a land soon, so we'll go Tormenting Voice for this Watery Grave. And we did hit a land. I do need to play this land, so I can go Drake and a Crash Through. That works. Unfortunately, it doesn't trade very well. Steely Champion. Opponent can just attack in with both. Pelt Collector is going to get bigger if another like Galta comes out. That's my biggest problem with Steel Leaf Champions. Galta was meant to be used in a dinosaur deck, and unfortunately, Galta, once Steel Leaf Champion came out, just like, yeah, well, let's put it in this deck. At this point, I think I can just block the Runaway Steam-Kin on the Steel Leaf, and then the Arclight on the... Yeah, that's fine. So we'll go block here and here. Just get rid of that Steel Leaf. That will actually pump up the collector, though. We need that other Phoenix. Where are you? We're 30 cards deep. We're 30 or 27 cards deep. Yeah, Ghalta is basically, well, yeah, you got to put the two green mana into it. Another Ferox. But here we go again. Like, mono green just got another big, beefy card. So the thing is, I can probably win with Enigma Drake here pretty soon. No, this has reach, right? No, it doesn't. It's trample. So Tormenting Voice, I believe, in Island. Maybe I should weigh that for Discovery Dispersal. Let's go Discovery. Both of those are still fine. I mean, I think we need to find another Drake as soon as possible. Not getting there. They are both on the bottom. Or all three of them are on the bottom. Oh boy. Let's chart a course. Oh boy. I'm gonna put the velocity. I'm gonna have to cast a chump blocker here. And I'm just gonna do a chart a course right now. Ugh. I think I just keep this back because we have lethal next turn. So yeah, maybe Enigma Drake is a 2-of is pretty good in this deck. Because statistically we want to see 1. We don't really want to see 2. Easy block. Yep, easy block. Do I dare? I mean, if he's got a pump spell, he's got a pump spell. Oh boy! Oh boy, we're gonna do it! Off the Enigma Drake. The card that I keep cutting down. Started with a 4-of and got all the way down to a 1-of. Hey, look what finally decides to show up. That's way lethal at this point. Let's just go through the motions, though. I can't do Steam Vents. That's a bad card. It actually reduces our Enigma Drake. That was 3, wasn't it? I hope that was 3. Oh, jeez, because I'm like, I still thought I had my Goblin Electromancer out. Kapow! No, I don't like Jace. I think that Sarkhan would be a better slot than Jace. Because you don't really have like a reliable 2-drop that wants to attack in Glen. I thought about Sarkhan, not a big fan. Sarkhan could add some other options like going into Demanding Dragon, but Demanding Dragon I don't know if it's the right call either. I had lethal last turn. Did I would be able to cast the spells? Because I think that I had to use some of the... Oh, I did have 17 last turn, huh? With the Phoenix coming back. I'm bad. Don't worry about me, everyone. I am not a good player. I build good decks, but execution, especially on stream, oh good lord, it's a whole different ballgame when trying to watch a bunch of screens and try to play at the same time. But that's my excuse anyway. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, Sarkhan's very interesting for this deck, Glenn. The thing that I really like about these type of decks is I know that it's there. I just have to figure out the right numbers to get it there. Do I want to go just below? Yeah, usually I think we just cantrip these when we don't have... Yeah, that's fine. I'm going against Merfolk. Merfolk folds to Deafening Clarion as well. Yeah, Deafening Clarion is definitely... Thank you, Eureka, Eurekan, for the suggestion, by the way. This stream is going to be... It's definitely going to pay off. Because I think that's going to be the key card to these aggro decks. Like this, I might not be able to beat this deck just because of how quick it's going to be. With the 1-drop, 2-drop. Actually, you know what? The Discovery might have been the right play there because I'm not going to be blocking with the Runaway. I'm running 4 Phoenixes. We have here's the link again to the current list. It's not anywhere finished. We need to splash white. I just don't have the Sacred Foundries to splash white at the moment. Oy vey. See how a Deafening Clarion is be a board wipe? I'm taking 5. And I just have to put out an Enigma Drake next turn. I think that's still the right play. Pumps this up as well. Yeah, it makes it... Actually, this makes a weird... Makes a weird attack from my opponent. Because I can just block, kill, and then dumb down. But then I'm at... Ew. Block, still has 3. I think my opponent just swings in. Like, we'd have to... What we have to hit next turn? Oh, sleep. Sleep for perfect lethal. Turn 4. Womp womp. Okay, that didn't work. Well, it's not just like elves and merfolk and vampires and oh my. It's like there's a lot of aggro decks out there. There's Celestia tokens. There's a bunch of Boros lists that are very aggressive. It's the Steam-Kin I don't know if I'm too impressed with as a 4 of. It was good in theory, but the more and more I play the Runaway Steam-Kin, it's like you want one of them. It probably needs to go down to a 2 of again. Like, Electromancers you want a 4 of because you want to guarantee an Electromancer. Steam-Kin, they're good to have, but I'm not sure 4 is the right number. Ooh, a search for Azcanta. Okay, this is beautiful because we have Tormenting Voice for the Arclight Phoenix, which also pumps up the Steam-Kin. And we have a Mountain, which I believe we will just run the Crash through. We'll have plenty of spells to cast, especially if we can get the counters. This also puts my opponent under pressure with a 3-3. See, now I like Runaway Steam-Kin. I think one of the problems we've been having right now is we've been drawing him so late. I think we get him out on turn 2, and... Oh, there's that. There goes... I don't know, if I draw a land... Yeah, I think I just slam an Arclight Phoenix here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2... Yep. I'm going to slam an Arclight Phoenix. Force him to deal Arclight Phoenix so he can come back. So this is going to be... What is this going to be? The Storm deck? Looks like it. Yeah, possibly, Arya, that might be correct. I'm with you. That might be... This might work better in a mono-red list. And I did make a mono-red Phoenix list, by the way. Or, I think the mono-red list is going to... Might switch over to a Boros list. Just because of how easy it is to splash at that point. Okay, so my opponent did exactly what I wanted them to do, which was to remove an insignificant card, and this allows both Phoenixes to come back, right? Do I have enough mana? Maybe. It depends on this radical... No, that's good. This will get him back. Because whatever it draws into, we discard it. And I don't even think we need to go Tormenting Voice here. It's just Warlord, draws a card, maximum velocity. See, this is the perfect tempo. These are the games that I like to see. Down to a 5. Yeah, I agree. I agree that was a bad play, Marcelo. I think they should have definitely not got a lightning strike on a renewable resource. And that, I mean, this is such a Kevin card. That's why I have to play it, Arclight Phoenix, and I kind of spent $400 on him. So now I really have to play the deck. Try to pump it up. I guarantee Saffron Olive plays this deck, and that it's going to go crazy as soon as he plays it. The price of these Phoenixes are going to go way high up. Well, I bought 160 of them. So, either we're... The thing is, they buy list for higher right now than I paid for them. So, I can... And Card Kingdom wants, like... What does Card Kingdom want? Let's look it up. Card Kingdom. They had the highest buy list. And sell cards. We'll keep this. Arclight Phoenix. Oh, nope, they've bumped it back down to $1.75 because someone must have just sent them a bunch. But they still have, they want 492 of them. All right, so I think we go with Sulfur Falls here. Well, there goes my outlet of... Ooh, a Stitcher Supplier, spicy. This is another card that I will be brewing with. And, wow, Gruesome Menagerie. This person's beating me to it. I absolutely want to build a Gruesome Menagerie Stitcher Supplier deck, and then have a way to reanimate a card, and then hopefully have 20 creatures in my graveyard. That's the goal. All right, so we're gonna go with the Steam-Kin here, and then hopefully draw a land, and then we can start Electromancer. I agree, Daniel. Like, that's what I called why I invested in it, because I started thinking about Modern. I'm like, this card has to be good in Modern at some point. I know Gitaxian Probe got banned. That's a huge issue with the Arclight Phoenix. But, excuse me. There's still Manamorphose. There's still a lot of the cantrip light cards. And there's still, like... the anthem, or the rituals. Is there a flash card that can come down for a 2/2? I think this is probably just going to get cast down. I hope the Steam-Kin does get cast down, because I don't need it. The Electromancer at this point is a little bit better. Well, it's definitely not a Vengevine. There's a lot more things that enable Vengevine right now. A bunch of 0 casting cost stuff that enable it. Like Hangerback Walker and Walking Ballista. And there are very few 0 cost spells is the problem. Like Gut Shot can kind of work. That's another one. Unfortunately, we do not have a... I think I'd rather have Chart a Course Post. Let's go ahead and see what we can draw with Crash Through. Hopefully we can get a Phoenix here. This is another card that might be pretty problematic for Phoenix, is Vraska's Contempt. Same thing with, like, the Seal Away. Alright, so I think we're just gonna... get the Steam-Kin up to a decent... Alright, I'm just gonna attack here. I mean, having a 2/2 and a 4/4 attacking is pretty solid. Don't know why my opponent's not keeping Stitcher Supplier back. I'm not gonna fall for blocking it. And this will fill back up our hand without discarding. There's Enigma Drake. Don't have a way to give it haste at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, cards like Water Knot could actually kill it, but... I mean, if we then... Some of those matches we could be bringing in... Hey, I'll remove mana and have nothing to do with it because it's all sorcery speed. Har har. Gonna still attack with that, huh? Okay, well... Let's go with a radical idea. Radical. And unfortunately, that's not very radical. And so unfortunately we'll pass a turn. Where art thou, Phoenixes? Well then, that was rude. At this point, should I just give the Stitcher Supplier? This feels like a Zony deck. Oh, maybe that's what they're keeping it up for, is the status. Ritual of Suit, okay. Still feel like I'd rather have the card off of the Chart of Course. Yeah. The Phoenixes do not exist. I'm going to give it one more radical idea. Beacon Bolt's okay, but I think the options that we've found are better, in my opinion, than Beacon Bolt. Like, it definitely is an option. It's something that can kill Lyras, and I have them in this, had them in the sideboard. Oh man, this is rough. Oh boy. All the Phoenixes are on the bottom again. Seems to be a theme. You're gonna allow, yeah, I'm gonna allow my Goblin Electromancer to get in. I don't think so. There's Phoenix. Unfortunately now, yes, I do have a way to get rid of it. We will radically have an idea. And we will radically cast our idea again. I have a feeling there's a Vraska's Contempt, unfortunately, though. And we will radically put out a Runaway Steam-Kin. And then radically give our cards first strike. And play a Drowned Catacomb, that's fine, even though I don't have any use for it. No Vraska's Contempt. Well, Fight with Fire Aria is in the sideboard currently, but it's going to get cut. It's going to be Response to Resurgence. That is the key card. Giving extra attack phases is exactly what this deck wants. It wants to be able to have that option early to remove a problematic attacker or blocker like a Jadelight Ranger or a Steel Leaf Champion or whatever. At that point, 5 damage is very, very... It can get Aurelia. That's very significant too. Lyra. And then on the second, though, it's going to be incredibly good to... All right, let's Warlord's Fury. It's going to be incredibly good to take that extra attack phase. It's double strike at that point. They do not exist. Give us first strike again. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Guess we might as well play this team. And I think I'm just going to play an Electromancer. I could remove and keep going for it. First strike. First strike. Yeah. Maybe I should have kept going for it here, but it seems like my opponent's in a tricky spot here. Yeah, going down to 2. Fight with Fire does 5 damage. There's no way I'm going to cast it in this deck. Maybe if I do string Electromancers, but the vast majority of the time, there's no way I'm going to go Fight with Fire. How much is Fight with Fire? It's 11 mana? To kick it? 6 mana? No, it's 9 mana. 9 mana? I can't remember. 10 mana? 10 mana? This is pretty good to go in 5 wins, though. We've had semi-legit decks. Still salty about that mono green and the matchups that matter, the competitive, constructive. Yeah, it's 9 mana. 9 mana, right? 6 for the kicker and 3 for the... That's tough. That's a lot of mana. I guess if we get the one dude's pumped up, that's 3 mana they can add towards it. I don't know. Possibly it's feasible. Well, Justin, I actually think mono green's awful. And I think it's one of the worst matchups. That's what I kept saying when people were looking at mono green and saying, oh, it's going to dominate the meta. I'm like, under what meta is it going to dominate? With Cast Down and Vraska's Contempts and Settle the Wreckages and those type of stuff. Mono green is still pretty bad when people actually want to hate it out. Now, Golgari gets a little bit of a punch because they get to add Dresses, Argos, Bloodfast, stuff like that. And it looks like Boros is just dominating the mono green matchup. Alright, so we're going to shock ourselves. And start off with a Steam-Kin. I don't know if that... Goblin Electromancer or Steam-Kin to start off with is weird. It's an awkward... Like, best case scenario, we draw a card. Burn is actually still semi-decent. It's more of a red deck win strategy right now. There's still Wizards that are quick. You got to think Wizards got a couple new cards with the form of the Electromancers and the Wee Dragonauts, which really does help Wizards. Ooh, that is tempting. Tempting. I'm gonna let it go through. Womp womp. Can I take that back? Needed a land drop there. Alright, so we have next turn though, Radical Idea, and hopefully get a land, and then get Phoenix. See, this Mystic Archaeologist is a wizard too. Are we playing against wizards? We're playing like a bad wizards deck? No offense, the beast. I'm sorry for calling your deck bad. Hey, you picked the wrong target. Thank you. Oh boy, here it comes. Here comes the Phoenix. So I need to keep Phoenix back though. That's the million-dollar question. Zach's trying to blow something up in the microwave. Jeez. I'm gonna have like hot, nasty vegan food because Zach's a vegan. Oh, it's enchilada. All right, what are we doing here? I forgot. Let's go ahead and have an idea of the radical. And let's go ahead and have another radical idea. And let's have one more radical idea, or at this point I think it's fine just to... Yeah, still radical idea is fine. Have one my idea of the radical nature. I'm not going to attack with it. I can't take any more damage. We've gone through 14 cards. We should be finding the second Arclight Phoenix. Because that's literally a fourth of our deck we've gone through. 15 cards is a fourth of the deck. Blink of the eye. Sure. Almost feel like just taking the trade with the... Nah. We got to go through this again. We'll shock ourselves here. I don't know. I could have waited for a... Alright. Here we go again with the ideas of... There we go. Perfect. And do you want to do a maximize velocity for funsies? Nah, let's just draw another card. I'm going to keep one back just to play blocker. It'll force off like another tempo spell. Ooh, that's spicy. Geez, Deafening Clarion at this point might actually be something that could be in the main. Enigma Drake survives it, too. Gonna try to out-tempo me, which might actually work. We can get a Runaway Steam-Kin with Trample, though. Is that gonna be feasible? And then cast. Cast, but I don't have another red. So no, I'd have to use red for it. I could just die to burn, in all honesty. Gosh, I didn't know how to bleed back all the Phoenixes all the time. So Chart a Course can just get rid of a Phoenix. Unfortunately, I played a land, so I can't get the other red source. Velocity puts it at 3, 6, 9. 9. I need to find another one. Steam-Kin I don't think can quite get there because we just... I can give myself one more turn for the Steam-Kin. No, I have no blue spell. So we have to go for non-Steam-Kins. No idea I can do this. What am I should have cast that Steam-Kin. Because we've already cast a spell. Whoops. So, Steam-Kin. And then I could have gone maximum velocity. And that might have actually... No, geez, I just screwed up big time. Because it tapped again like that. Arena and its auto tapper. I screwed up. I think we just lost this. Because I just miffed up big time. Wow. The auto... I need to take auto tap off. I keep forgetting to do it. It just screws everything up that it... No, that was my fault for tapping it into a blue. No, but then it drew another one. That's what it did. It drew... whatever. I think I'm dead here. To blink of an eye. Jesus. Trips on the blink, huh? Is my opponent holding back a land? I think I can safely just do this. Can I safely? So, if my opponent just has a Lightning Strike land, Lightning Strike, I die. Ugh, whatever. Stupid. I'm a bad player. Okay, so we have a mountain here. Now we can go Runaway Steam-Kin. Very, very safely. Now we'll do this correctly. Tormenting Voice. Discarding Arclight Phoenix. Use this blue for a radical idea. We'll give ourselves Trample. And I guess maximum velocity on a Goblin Electromancer could push it through. It brings back 2 Phoenixes, but that's only 12 damage. No, that's actually... It'll force a block with the Arcanist. I'm going to save it, though, to give it something haste. No, they'd have to give it that haste. Yeah, I have to wait a turn. Combat... I'm just going to leave these stupid things. I'm going to attack with one of them and leave everything else behind because I can't get hit with another blink. Have a ton of lands. Double burn spell though just wins, which you got to think there's other burn spells. We've seen one Shivan Fire. These still reduce. My opponent has a lot of mana available. Blink, blink, blink. Blink's an interesting option for this deck, too. Against mono green, it might actually work because if you get out a Electromancer quick, you can start tapping that for 3. You draw a card off of it. Is Blink just better than... I doubt it, though. I think that those decks, if you go a first-turn Llanowar Elf into card, you're way too far behind. And there's a lot of ones that are going to start running like Jade Lights and Knights over Steely Champion. Oh, boy. Another Shivan Fire. Shivan Fire, in all honesty, is... Alright, so it's just a Sift. Okay, that's fine. I don't know what main phasing of Shivan Fire was all about, though. Ooh, it's got a Niv-Mizzet in there. I thought about putting this to sideboard. I'm like, oh, that's just terrible. Okay, so here we should... I still think we want the red variety of mana. I should have done Sulfur Falls because it can do both, but that's not a Steam Vents there. Jeez, Kevin. Okay, so Discovery. And yuck, get rid of these. I think we want to do Chart of Courses first. Because we can find another Phoenix. Well, eventually we can find another Phoenix, like... 4. I can maximize velocity in Electromancer. I'm not sure that does a lot. Let's go ahead and add some mana. So that can do an Electromancer. To pump it up. Let's Radical Idea first. Well, let's actually get rid of, since I still have a Radical Idea, which doesn't want me to tap it, to get rid of a Mountain. Let's use our last for a Chart of Course. Hopefully this will find a Phoenix. Even better, finds a Drake. No, we can't cast a Drake. We don't have blue. At this point, we'll just get rid of a Steam Vents. And maximum velocity on the Summoning Sickness Electromancer. And that brings back... I'm going to go ahead and Warlord's Fury here. So they have First Strike and Trample. No, they don't have Trample because we didn't find Trample for them. So maximum velocity on a Phoenix gets through for 4. Then that will force off blocks. That'll force off all blocks, I believe. And discarding a Watery Grave. Which brings back Arclight Phoenix. Swing in. It can block there, but then take 3, 4, 4. I believe this is the best way to do it. Could still lose, though. This is a pretty risky... Opponent's just going to give it up. All right. That makes it easier. Really tried to lose. I tried my hardest to lose that game. But the deck's just too good that it even piloted me through that awful loss. And hey, this would be pretty good if we can go 7 wins on our first non-competitive league. I'm okay with that. Yeah, so Blink of the Eye. Blink of the Eye is definitely a route we can go rather than the Deafening Clarions. I'll build 2 versions. I'll do the splash the Boros cards in, and then the other version I'll keep it as is and just put in a bunch of blinks. Probably one more Enigma Drake and throw in some blinks and see how well the mono green matchup works from there. And this is a mulligan. But either way, I think this is our last matchup. I am starting to definitely wear down. But I had fun in the stream, for sure. Keep that on top. Even though, how many opening hands? It's so hard to have a Phoenix in the opening hand. Do you know what, Arya? Burning Inquiry with Phoenixes actually seems pretty good. I just realized that, like, Burning Inquiry and Faithless Looting. And you still have Hollow One. You still have Hollow One that works with it. Maybe I'll have to fire up the MTGO. Womp womp. See, how come all my green opponents can have a first turn land or else, but I can't have a Phoenix in my opening hand ever? Yeah, maybe I have had Phoenix in my opening hand. I swear to God, if it's a... Alright, Thrashing Bronda is not nearly as bad, because I can chump block it, and it's not a huge threat. I mean, it is a huge threat, but... You want to destroy it? I'll let you destroy it. You can destroy it with your Thrashing Brontodon. Come on, do it before... Why do you need Vengevine, though? Vengevine is not a cast. It's not... Arclight does not cast. It just brings it back. You're not going to be able to have a deck that runs both Vengevine and Arclight Phoenix. It's going to be an Arclight Phoenix deck or a Vengevine deck. Not both. It'll be way too hard to have the numbers correctly. Carnage Tyrant. I haven't seen that card in a while. So, but Hollow One and Arclight Phoenix. Now that's interesting. Alright, come on. Ooh, Graveyard it is. Now do we actually put out a Phoenix this turn? I don't think I can quite get there. So we will go Island, and it's just going to be more superior to go Discovery. And throw, hopefully, another Phoenix in the graveyard. Enigma Drake, I want a land. I want Enigma Drake. I want both of these. I want. We have to race Carnage Tyrant, though. I mean, I don't want, though, because I want these both to flip. Ugh, this is difficult. I think I just cantrip this right now, though. That's fine. Just because I know I don't want it to go in the graveyard with the search. Fortunately, I'm going to get hit hard here. Hopefully, my opponent doesn't have anything decent to put out. And Enigma Drake gives me a nice little blocker. Carnage Tyrant's coming out, though. That's a difficult card. Another Brontodon. All right, that's good for us. Oh, I want one Goblin Electromancer for sure, and that allows me to set up the next turn. Enigma Drake this turn because I have two cards in the graveyard, so I can start blocking. If I go Goblin Electromancer, I can only cast 2 spells, though. I think it's just Enigma Drake. And I can block a Thrashing Brontodon now, but that's still going to put me in weird position. Carnage Tyrant's not quite out either. Galt is out, though. Card was a mistake. I think I'm dead. See, this is another thing where the, like, Blink works really well against. Yeah, I don't think I can do 20 damage in a turn. Sulfur Falls. Womp womp. Nope, we can only do 10 damage. And we can only absorb 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Galta by itself and another attacker just wins. Close. Mono green. This is definitely the rough matchup. Garbage deck though. I'm still gonna say this deck is one of the worst ones to play in the meta at the moment. It just doesn't. Did my opponent just let me have another turn? Or does they no? Because I can only absorb 6 of it, and I still take 6. It's just too easy to break up mono green and then have them have a lot of stuff, especially running Galtas in multiples. Oh, I'm down to 1. Yeah, I did the math like that. Down to 1. So my opponent gave me a chance to come back. But yeah, it's not gonna happen. I'd have to find like all Phoenixes. Oh, another Galta. Yeah. Blah blah. Well, no, yeah. Mono green definitely is good versus decks that are not removing their creatures. It's insanely good versus those type of things. But when it starts to have a meta built around it, it's the easiest deck in the entire world just to completely shut down. It's happened over and over and over again. Is people will try to play mono green and they'll get absolutely stomped at every Grand Prix because then people are prepared for it. I mean, it's put up numbers only because there are so many people like, oh, Llanowar Elf into Steel Leaf Champion. That's going to win me some games without trying. That's the reality of it, is when they create that sort of thing. But the problem that it creates is now we have a meta that has to revolve around a first turn Llanowar Elf into a Steel Leaf Champion. And, I mean, I guess Brian Kibler likes it, but the rest of us, it's just annoying. Then you have to, okay, I got to play a cast down to take care of that, and then, have this nice little curve to take care of all the threats they put out, and then they eventually peter off and then start top decking lands and things like that, and you beat them. I mean, that's how the mono green matchup runs. But again, it does keep the meta pretty honest, I guess. But they're garbage versus Turbo Fog. They're garbage versus Teferi. Very easy matchup for Teferi to both with the Cleansing Nova and the Settle the Wreckage. Easy, super easy matchup. And it's very easy for a lot of other decks to go either Tempo decks or mid-range decks or Grixis, even the old Grixis deck. The Scarab God decks just absolutely preyed on mono green. Mono green had like a 45% win percentage when I was looking at the numbers, but it just didn't. You couldn't keep the Timmies from playing it over and over and over again. Because again, it's not a lot of decisions making to be made with mono green. Like, I don't like it. It's kind of a pet peeve when people say that aggro, like mono red aggro, is the noob deck because it's just so linear, you just turn your card sideways. I actually think mono red is one of the hardest decks to pilot because you have to guarantee those. You have to be very good with where you get the damage in. You can't be burning your damage spells early, and it takes at least a decent player to pilot like red. Mono green, there is absolutely zero decisions to be made with mono green Stompy. The deck just plays itself. Might as well be a robot. Whew, there's my rant. There's my rant with mono green. I apologize to all you Timmies out there that like the Llanowar Elf and the Steel Leaf Champion. I play it from time to time, versions of it, but yeah, just it's by far my least enjoyable matchup to play. And I mean, it's okay to play against because a lot of times you can interact with it at least. But anyway, there's my rant. All right, let's claim the prizes here. See if we can get a Steam Vents. We want a Steam Vents. We want a Steam Vents. We want a Steam Vent. Or no, not a Steam Vents. Quit seeing Steam Vents. Yeah, that's a good one. Resplendent Angel. Another card I can't stand, though. I think it's a mistake to run this card. I think it is seeing a lot of play because of Lyra. And it actually has a lot of synergy with Aurelia to a point. It's got a curve, at least, with Aurelia. But this is just such a liability. A 3/3 for 3 in the meta at the moment with Lightning Strikes. And now Lava Coils. Acosta just missed me ranting about mono green, saying how it's the worst deck in the meta. So that's what I get. I start raging, and then people are like, oh, Kevin hates me and hates me. No, it probably is a pretty easy deck to redeem, too. But I'm just so sick of Llanowar Elf and a Steel Leaf Champion. I've had it. I've just had it with that curve. And it almost just makes me want to play Eldest Reborn deck. That's how I, last time, that's how I did it. What was this deck? I don't know. I really don't want to play blue-black control, but if people are going to play Boros and they're going to play Stompy all day, I think that's the right deck to play for sure. This is an old version when I was trying to see if I could actually make constructed work to grind it out. But right now with the gems I have, it definitely is better to just draft and do sealed over and over until I get the cards that I need. So anyway, that's the stream. We've been streaming for quite a while. Pretty good finishes with the Arclight. Again, it looks like the mono green is the matchup that has the big hole. I'm sure mono red and Boros are difficult too, but speaking of control decks, I think this deck's going to have a pretty good time once we got the numbers right versus control, and then we'll have a good little deck to go. So, hope you enjoyed the stream. Don't take everything I say too seriously. I have opinions, and I express them very, very vocally of how I hate Sam Stoddard, and I hate every card that Sam Stoddard's ever designed. And everyone talks about Marrow needing to go. Sam Stoddard needs to go. I'm so sick of linear magic. But anyway, hope you had fun, and I'm going to call it. Thanks for watching.